Highway, and let us evaluate your credits to determine if they will transfer here to ITI Technical College. Earn your Associates in Occupational Studies degree in over 8 different technologies, including our construction management program. You can also enroll in any of our 6 certification programs, and financial aid is available for those who qualify. ITI is accredited by the Accrediting Commission of Career Schools and Colleges. ITI Technical College. Begin your journey to a better life.
For more information about graduation rates, the median debt of students who completed the program, and other important information, please visit our website, www.iticollege.edu/disclosures.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until the case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, October 5th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 83. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Senior Associate Athletic Director Verge Ausberry joins the show at 7:30. Our latest weekend winners at 8, and Sports Illustrated's Ross Dellinger stops by at 8:30. Remember, you can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live over at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside the Bayou Ford chat. Make sure you subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online 104.5ESPN.com. We are powered and driven every single morning by All-Star Toyota. We're on YouTube this morning. Remember, hit us on the 104.5 ESPN station on YouTube there. Make sure and like, share, comment, get involved inside the Bayou Ford chat app. We're here until 10 a.m. this morning. We'll talk football, LSU football with Verge Ausberry, Executive Deputy Director of Athletics from over at LSU. Will stop by in his typical 7:30 segment. Ross Dellinger, 8:30 this morning, talking college football. Been 15 years since Auburn had gone into Athens and won, make it 16. The last 16 trips, that game wasn't even close between the hedges. Florida rolls again offensively. LSU back on track. Would you rather? Would you rather beat LSU or lose to Arkansas?
I still think, okay, so you're saying you beat LSU and you lose to Arkansas, or you don't beat LSU and you beat Arkansas?
Would you rather? Would you rather beat LSU or would you rather lose to Arkansas?
Well, that's it. But
Out of the scenario.
Beat LSU.
Yeah, obviously I think beat LSU, but yeah. Yeah, you want to beat LSU, I still think. But yeah, it sucks for them. I mean, the Mike Leach giveth and Mike Leach taketh away.
Drew Brees connects on a couple of long touchdowns yesterday to Trequan Smith. Saints back on track. We got lots of sound coming up inside your headlines. Ed Ogeron, Miles Brennan, Jacoby Stevens, Sean Payton, all to get to. Here are your headlines on this Monday, October 5th.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
Drew Brees threw 2 scores to Trequan Smith in the second quarter, helping the Saints rally to beat the Lions 35-29 on Sunday. The Lions also joined the 2011 Minnesota Vikings as the 2 teams in league history to lose 3 of their first 4 games after leading by at least 10 points. New Orleans was the latest team to come back against Detroit, scoring 35 straight for New Orleans, as Brees on the day, 19 of 25, 246 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here he is following yesterday's win, here's Sean Payton after yesterday's win, talking about Trequan Smith's performance. No technical difficulties here. Alvin Kamara yesterday accounted for 83 yards on the ground and had his 7th touchdown of the season, while Latavius Murray had 64 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. How about Emmanuel Sanders? 6 grabs for 93 yards.
Yeah, love seeing the chemistry develop between Sanders and Breeze. Also, Trequan Smith stepping up in the absence of Mike Thomas is spectacular. But maybe my favorite part of yesterday, and I'm not sure they haven't done this in the past, it just stood out yesterday, were all these goal line packages that featured both Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. I think it stresses the defense in some real interesting ways. A lot of times, Kamara was used as sort of this horizontal decoy to get you moving side to side. And then Latavius Murray would be like, you kind of fake it left, and then you just come straight up the gut with the punch. That was Latavius Murray. And it was, what was it, 3rd and goal from the 6 when they ran it in near the end. So, yeah, it's a very interesting package. And I look forward to seeing what they can do with it going forward. Great game, though. Bounce-back game from your New Orleans Saints.
Trequan Smith talking about his performance over the last 2 weeks.
I felt like there was a lot of weight on my shoulders to, help fill in for Mike. But now, I got really comfortable with it, and I feel that I really know the offense now, going Mike position, which I never played before. So I definitely grew over the last couple games.
Yeah, look, it's just acting on your opportunity, right? Like, he has to have a bigger role just because of what has gone down in the injury department, and he has actively stepped up, which I think makes a lot of Saints fans feel good because you've been looking for more out of that receiver position, and now when Mike Thomas returns, you feel better about Emmanuel Sanders. You feel better about Trequan Smith. Alvin Kamara's going off, and then all of a sudden you're starting to feel like that offense that you expected to see coming into the year.
Sean Payton yesterday was talking about the penalties. Saints cleaned them up. Only 4 penalties yesterday for 67 yards.
Yeah, look, we just got to keep working on it, keep battling, and it is a point of emphasis. So we are really making it a focal point, and yet sometimes you got to battle through some calls.
Saints banged up going into this one. No Davenport, no Marcus Davenport, no Marshawn Lattimore, no Janoris Jenkins. Jared Cook was out. Andrus Peat was also inactive. Ryan Ramczyk left the game with a concussion yesterday, and wide receiver and kick returner Deontay Harris left with an undisclosed injury. Mike Thomas practiced last week but missed his 3rd straight game with an ankle injury. Saints looking to get right this week. They'll host the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday night inside of the Dome. NFLSU scores from yesterday. The Tampa Bay Bucks beat the Chargers 38-31. Look out, Justin Herbert is a stud for the Chargers as he nearly goes over 300 again. Devin White had 4 tackles and 1 fumble recovery yesterday for Tampa Bay as they've won 3 straight. Cincinnati got the first win for Joe Burrow, 33-25 over Jacksonville. Joey on the day, 25 of 36, and becomes the first rookie quarterback in league history to start all 3 games with 300 yards passing. He had a touchdown. He had a bad interception that his teammate didn't help him out in the end zone. Really wasn't Joey's fault. He was only sacked 1 time. Also yesterday, 4 rushes for 11 yards. On the other side of the ball, DJ Chark with an enormous day. 8 catches, 95 yards. 2 scores for the former off-the-bench intern, and Kayvon Chasson had a tackle yesterday. The Cleveland Browns beat the Dallas Cowboys 49-38. Dak and the Cowboys look like they're right on their way to an 8-8 season. Jarvis Landry had 5 catches for 48 yards. He also threw a touchdown pass for 37 yards to Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ, enormous Sunday. 2 carries, 73 yards and a score, while 5 catches, 81 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jacob Phillips had 2 tackles for the Browns. The Seattle Seahawks remain 4-0 as they travel across the country and beat the Miami Dolphins 31-23. Davin Godchaux had 57 yards. Davin Godchaux had 5 tackles on the day. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Washington Redskins 31-17. The Washington football team 31-17. Patrick Queen had 12 tackles on the day, 8 of them solo. 3 tackles for loss and an enormous goal line stand as Queen came over the top to stuff the Washington running back. Carolina beat Arizona yesterday 31-21. Pat Pete had an interception and 5 tackles. Dante Jackson had 5 tackles on the day. The Minnesota Vikings.
Arizona's taking a bit of a hit here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Minnesota Vikings beat Houston 31-23. The Texans are 0-4 on the season. Justin Jefferson had 4 grabs for 103 yards. Rams beat the Giants 17-9. Michael Brockers 2 stops, a quarterback hit, a sack, and a tackle for loss. Colts hand the Bears their first loss of the season. Indianapolis won 19-11. Barkevius Mingo had 2 stops for the Bears. The Bills remain undefeated on the year as they beat the Las Vegas Raiders 30-23. Trey White had 8 tackles and a pass deflected, a pass defensed. In that one, Foster Moreau had a catch for 8 yards for the Raiders. And last night on Sunday Night Football, the Philadelphia Phillies beat San Francisco 25-20. Jalen Mills had 3 stops. Quan Alexander had 9 tackles for the 49ers. Tonight, a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. CBS will host New England and Kansas City, while on Monday Night Football, Atlanta and Green Bay. LSU Tigers on Saturday, after their win over Vanderbilt 41-7, moved up 3 spots to number 17 in the latest AP Top 25, and also moved up number 16 in the coaches poll. Coach Ed Ogeron was speaking after the win on Saturday to move LSU to 1-1.
Very proud of his football team and his coaching staff. Had grit this week, came back. They worked all week. Guys wanted to get better leadership on his football team. I thought we played a complete game tonight. There were some mistakes, but our guys fought. We talked about finish. We finished the game. 500 yards of offense, 260-something yards of Vanderbilt. I thought the defense did a great job coming up with some big-time plays in the game. It definitely helped to have Derek Singer back. It made a difference. Thought the kicking game was outstanding. Field goals and punting. We got to get better at kickoff coverage. Nice punt return by Derek. But there's some things to get better at. Red zone, we had to set up field goals a couple of times. We missed a couple of plays. We dropped some balls. I thought John Emery ran the ball well. Good to see John Trey Kirkland getting involved. Overall, just a good win. Just a happy football team that's locked on.
We'll talk more about it coming up here on OTB on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Looks like the NBA Finals is turning into a series, as last night Miami got their first game of the matchup. Jimmy Butler had 40, 11, and 13 as Miami beat Los Angeles 115-104 on Sunday night to get within 2 games to 1. They did that without starters Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic. Those guys are still unable to play. It was the third 40-point triple-double in finals history as Jimmy Butler joins LeBron James, who was on the floor last night, and Jerry West. In fact, Butler became the 21st player to have a triple-double in the NBA Finals, and last night featured 4 of them. Jason Kidd, who is an assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, was sitting on the bench next to Frank Vogel. Rajon Rondo had a triple-double. LeBron
Vogel's
James.
not in that triple-double number, right?
No, hell.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know if he played basketball.
I don't know either. That's why I was so confused. Okay.
Jason Kidd did. Rajon Rondo, LeBron James, and then, of course, last night, Jimmy Butler. So 2 games to 1, Game 4 on Tuesday night.
Yeah, big win, man, making at least somewhat of a series. I also read something insane that I think Jimmy Butler last night became the first player ever in LeBron's 50-plus finals games that we talked about the other day. First player ever to outscore, out-rebound, and out-assist him.
I hope, man. I'm pulling for Butler in the Heat.
The injuries, I think, are just going to be too much to overcome. But it was nice to get this win. Nice to get it.
All right, those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench? Come back with us. We'll talk to Verge Ausberry, Deputy Director of Athletics over at LSU. Going to stop by every Monday morning with us here on 7:30. He'll be here in about 15 minutes. We'll talk college football with Ross Dellinger in the 8 o'clock hour. Off the Bench, Monday morning, powered and driven every day by All-Star Toyota.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
AccuTemp. Remember, over at AccuTemp, they still have the great specials for you over there with the Tiger Tune-Up, where you can text halftime to the number 31996 to get half off of your heater tune-up. All you got to do is do that during LSU games. Remember, LSU and Missouri coming up. Going to be a late start inside Tiger Stadium at 8 o'clock on Saturday night, so halftime for you might be running a little late, but if you text halftime to 31996 over at AccuTemp, you'll get half off of a heater tune-up for you for the Tiger tune-up. All information online, AccuTempBR.com.
AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Shout out to everybody who took advantage of that halftime game. We were talking about it during the fan cave during the game. Every halftime we'll continue to remind you, but it's not just that, right? Any HVAC, anything that you need for your house, This is stuff you already have to do. You want to work with AccuTemp. The service that they give you, you're going to see why their customers have given them a 4.9 Google review rating. With over 1,200 reviews, they are the best. Go to AccuTempBR.com today.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints lines as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, tough to complain on this Monday morning after a weekend that featured the weather that we had in South Louisiana. It was a beautiful weekend. Chamber of Commerce from start to finish. Enjoyed a dinner with Coach John Brady on Friday night to start the birthday festivities, which looking forward to this week. Nobody had a better weekend than Ben Mintz, though. Nobody on the planet Earth had a better weekend than Ben Mintz, and it continues to roll on. Don't know if anybody saw this. Mincy and his Ole Miss Rebels get the win on Saturday in overtime in Lexington. First win of the Lane Kiffin era. Playboy Marty and Ben Mintz are celebrating at their Baton Rouge apartment here. Playboy Marty decides to open up the video on his phone and video Mintz celebrating the win real time in front of the television. Dave Portnoy, who is the president and CEO of Barstool Sports, saw the video, says that SEC football just hits a little different from his own Twitter account. He then DM'd Ben Mintz, wondering if that was him on the video. Mintz replied that it was. Portnoy says he's going to get in touch with him on this Monday to talk about maybe a job in working for Barstool Sports. It still gets better. Lane Kiffin picked up the Portnoy tweet in which Portnoy tweets Mintz in his living room. Kiffin, the head coach at Ole Miss, quote tweets Mintzy's video performance from his living room. I mean, it could not get any better. And it does. It does get better for Mintz. On his 6-pack of winners he gave you on Friday morning, he was undefeated.
6-0.
He was 6-0 this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody on the planet had a better weekend than Ben Mintz. Shout out to our boy Mintzy as his Ole Miss Rebels. I mean, my God, if you're counting on a college football kicker in Kentucky as he misses an extra point in overtime and the Rebels get the win for the first of the Lane Kiffin era, and Ben Mintz is everywhere. He could be employed by Barstool Sports the next time we talk to you.
We'll see. I know that Dave would probably also love to mess with our other guy, Brandon Walker, by hiring an Ole Miss guy and just having them go head-to-head, and they're all into gambling, which obviously means. So Mintz was 6-0 in his 6-pack on Thursday that he gave you, 5-0 on his Friday picks, and 2-1 in the Degeneration Dome. So just a solid week all around. He's on a heater. You know, but I mean, look, you mentioned the weather. You mentioned Mintzy. It was a great weekend for Louisiana football. The ultimate get-right weekend after a very disappointing one 7 days ago where I think a lot of insecurity was raised both about LSU and the Saints. And, I mean, if you look at the Saints weekend, not only having, like, literally almost all of their best players injured, but then the false positive COVID test that led to, like, 1 a.m. testing, guys not able to sleep. You got a noon kickoff, so you're already waking up early and on the road, lack of sleep, down 14-0 early. The Saints roar back, kick Detroit's ass. LSU kicks Vandy's ass. Miles Brennan looks great along the way. It was just it was a really solid get-right weekend.
Give you an idea of what Brennan is doing here through the first 2 weeks of action and where LSU has come from as far as quarterback play is considered, and what we saw last season from Joe Burrow. And shout out to Joey as he gets his first win on Sunday. He does that yesterday over the Jacksonville Jaguars and becomes the first quarterback in NFL history to start the first 3 weeks and all 3 weeks throw for 300. So shout out to Burrow. But check this out. Todd Polites, who is really the brains behind all social media and anything factual as far as numbers are concerned over at LSU, tweeted out 20 hours ago at T. Polites, here is how Miles Brennan, at Miles Brennan's first 2 starts rank in LSU football history among quarterbacks with 2 starts since 1957. He's thrown for 682 yards. That's first. He's got 50 completions. That's first. He's got 7 touchdown passes. That's first. He has 83 attempts, which is third, behind Rohan Davey, who had 94, and Josh Booty with 87. So an idea of where Brennan and what he's done through the first 2 weeks of action. And yes, it was a bounce-back game for him, and he looked so much more comfortable, and I thought that went hand in hand with the play calling from upstairs.
Yeah, what's interesting about the graphic you put up, too, and because, look, an element of this is just that LSU is playing a more wide-open offense than they ever have before, but it's not the whole story, right? Because he's third in attempts. So it's not like nobody has ever thrown at this rate before at LSU. He was just been more successful in those throws than anybody else has. But, yeah, I mean, when you're talking about Saturday's game, it absolutely looked like that coaching staff had a much clearer vision of how to tailor that offense around Miles Brennan's strengths. I think by game's end, the first down run-pass split may have been about 50. I think it was 50-50. I think it was 16-16. If it wasn't, it was like 50. You know, it's maybe one number off. Either way, essentially 50-50, keeping the defense on its heels. That led to more second and manageable, which led to more third and manageable, an average third down distance to go of 6 yards, which is really good. They still need to convert those at a higher rate, but that's really solid. And what you saw them do with Miles, I mean, the 2 biggest things to me are I love the fact that they focused on getting the ball out quickly, not making him make all the tough decisions, especially early on, and kind of get back to the core edict of last year's offense, get the ball to playmakers in space. And you saw that a lot early on with these little swing routes, these little dump offs to the back, Jordy, which are essentially extended handoffs. It's something that Sean Payton's talked about a lot in the past, and it worked wonders for easing Miles kind of into the game while also setting up the play action for later in the game. I thought the LSU offensive line dominated in the run blocking department, which made the play action and the RPOs hit as well. But probably the main thing that I really loved out of Brennan this game, Jordy, my biggest concern last week, more than the decisiveness and the decision-making, because I think that'll all come with time on task and reps. Pocket presence can be a funny thing, right? Guys can just kind of be shaky and never really get it. His pocket presence this week looked like a completely different quarterback. It looked like he had full trust in that offensive line. He was stepping up, delivering the ball, navigating. Last week, if he felt any pressure, he was rolling to the outside. A lot of times he was screwing over his tackles and rolling into pressure. This time, he trusted Liam Shanahan. He trusted Chase and Hines. He trusted Ed Ingram, who had a monster game, to keep him protected, and he was rewarded for doing so. Hopefully later in this week, I think I've figured out ways around the copyright laws. So I'm hoping I can break down some of this film for y'all on Twitter. But I love so much about Brennan's performance here. I mean, holding safeties with his eyes to open up the middle of the field on one of the Terrace Marshall touchdowns, on the flea flicker touchdown, right? A lot of questions about his toughness last week. He knew he was going to get demolished. He knew he was going to get lit up, and he did. He got double-teamed, but he still stood tall, delivered a beautiful deep ball to the back of the end zone. Next thing you know, it's a perfectly thrown touchdown, and you see exactly what you want to see out of your quarterback here in Game 2.
Miles Brennan deserves the highlights and the respect this morning after his play, but a lot of the guys around him were helping him out on Saturday specifically. You mentioned that flea flicker. What about the day that Jontre Kirkland had at wide receiver? Three grabs for Kirkland, 65 yards. 2 of those scores on his first touchdown, leading the way out in front was Cam Wire, the tackle who stepped in to play for Dare Rosenthal. I've got Wire down as a weekend winner coming up here at straight up 8 o'clock for the way that he responded to the opportunity that he got on Saturday. Ed Ingram out there laying pancakes as well. The offensive line, I thought, played really good.
If people are going back and watch highlights, and hopefully we'll get to this week, if I can figure out a way to do this around the copyright laws, watch Ed Ingram on the Jontre Kirkland screen.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean
he's killing.
Look at this. Okay,
cats.
Back that up, Danny. Back that up again. Watch how powerful Ed. Back it up even from the side view if you can, because that's an even better angle, because you can really get an idea of how his body just flies. His punch, that's just a punch. That wasn't even like full body weight or hips or anything. He's just so strong right now.
And welcome, John Emery. You have arrived, son. It's your backfield. I mean, he should be the feature back. He looks like he is a step away every single time he touches the ball. He can catch it. He can run it. His vision looks right. His speed looks right. I think that John Emery is the best running back on this team, and I love Ty Davis-Price. Chris Curry was dressed out. He didn't play, and I thought Price ran it really well. But when you're looking at Emery and the rest of the room side by side, I don't think it's close. I think John Emery's the best running back on this team, and he needs to be featured because he is a home run hitter and can change the scoreboard at seemingly any point on the field and any point on the game. And I'd like to see him get 18 to 20 touches every Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other best parts about Saturday game, how about 11 different receivers catching the ball?
Yeah.
And like an element
what about
of
the
that.
stat line for Terrace Marshall?
Yeah.
2 catches, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns with an average of 33.5 yards per catch.
But I guess where I'm going with that is that I think 18 to 20 touches is going to be tough to accomplish maybe for any single player in this offense. We'll see. But certainly after this game, it kind of feels like, is Emery like 2/3 of the running back touches and then Curry and TDP split the other third? Because TDP had a nice game as well. It just, I do agree he's not. Where Emery really stood out to me, and if you go back and watch, there's a couple you really want to highlight. His pass blocking was really good.
Which is what kept him off the field.
Exactly. And when you're talking about pass pro, that's how you make yourself into an elite third down back. Something Clyde was very good at. It means that you can leave him on the field and trust him now. So I'm starting to think, like, look at how the Saints use Murray and Kamara, and let TDP, Chris Curry, maybe they're more of your first down back, and then Emery's kind of your second and third down guy because he is so dynamic about the pass game and the run game. Yeah, to me, Miles Brennan was MVP 1A because of the expectation on him, but then right behind him is John Emery for MVP 1B. Now, look, it was Vanderbilt, and you were just clearly physically superior and better than Vanderbilt. Now, they had a good showing against A&M, but whatever. Like, this was never a game where this is not to say that this will be the standard going forward for how well this team played Saturday, but it is exactly what they needed as a young team that is learning how to play on the SC level. This is the type of success they needed just to show that you can do it. Now, the next step is show that you can do it against the better teams.
Verge Ausberry from LSU Athletics next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Call this morning for a free professional estimate over at Go Roof. If you need residential, commercial, or even roof repair this morning, over at Go Roof, they're ready for your call. 927-8300 is the phone number. It doesn't matter if it's residential, commercial. There's no commercial job too large, too big, or small that they haven't already covered. If you need a repair from a small leak to a large persistent issue, they can get you fixed up every day. 927-8300 is the phone number. They are online at geauxroof.com.
Yep, 927-8300, 927-8300. Licensed, spotted, insured. The local guys, they care about the community. They care about your roofs. And that free professional estimate, I cannot stress enough how nice that is. So if you're worried, about, I think there's something wrong, but I'm not sure, it's a no-risk proposition. The professionals at Go Roof come out there. You're going to see what a pleasure it is working with them. They tell you exactly where you stand. 927-8300. What do you get?
Call Roofs up today. A beautiful roof every single time.
Roofs up.
Football's back. Tune in tonight as we wrap up a full weekend of NFL coverage. It's Monday Night Football as Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers host Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints lines as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Red River rivalry coming up this weekend. Will Texas ever be back? And can Oklahoma avoid an 0-3 start in the Big 12? How about that? Oklahoma upset again last Saturday. Iowa State, their first win over Oklahoma in Ames since 1960. LSU football back on track. We gave you the numbers. Miles Brennan on Saturday, spectacular as he was 22 of 37, over 330 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did have an interception, but on the day, LSU showing off that wealth of talent at wide receiver. Terrace Marshall, Jontre Kirkland, Keyshawn Butte, Eric Gilbert, Jeriah Jenkins, again, 2 catches for Jenkins on Saturday. We talk about the football game every Monday morning with Deputy Director of Athletics over at LSU, a former player and a longtime administrator here in Baton Rouge, is Verge Ausberry. Good morning, Verge. How are you?
Good morning, Jordy. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. You take it on the road for the first time this season amongst all the protocols and all of the regulations. First and foremost, besides the outcome of the game, how was the logistics of traveling?
Logistics was well. The team got in there Friday night. We didn't get there till Saturday, the administration. Jordan, it's a little weird. You're sitting in a stadium before the game. There's nobody in there. It's a different feel. We do have some LSU fans that would tailgate. It's so funny. They would tailgate at the parking garage that looks into the stadium. We had the national championship banner, and they were yelling LSU when we got there. So, like I say, you can't keep LSU fans out of anywhere. Yeah. But it was a great trip for us and great win. Played very well. John Emery, running back, had his first game over 100 yards as a starter. Cameron Wire started on the offensive line, and we didn't have any sacks on the offensive line to the quarterback this game. And Miles Brennan, as you said, he's had 2 games over 300 yards. It's the first time in LSU's history a quarterback has done that.
Verge, you mentioned John Emery and some of the new faces. Cam Wire played great in his opportunity to step in and start at left tackle. But really somebody who came back that a lot of Tiger fans are familiar with, who gave a very refreshing, was Derek Stingley Jr. On the outside. To see the impact that he has on the defense and on special teams with his punt return. What'd you make of the sophomore's play?
He changes our whole team. We have guys like that. But he's one of the best football players in the United States of America. And you have him on your team. You have him back out there on the field. It changes the whole dynamics of your defense, what you could do, different schemes that you could run. And also Jacoby Stevens had a great leadership role this weekend. I mean, he played well as a leader out there, keeping the team together, especially when you have a young team like this. So you remember, we talk about Stingley. He's still a young guy. He's a sophomore. But he's just a great football player. He does things that you can't teach. And, he brings that where he shuts down one side of the field for you. And the young guy, Ricks, has had, 2 interceptions in 2 games.
Verge, one thing that stands out is his physicality. Stingley's.
In great shape. And, Stingley has done that from his father working him out since he was in high school to now. He's in great shape. Both of our corners, we like those big cornerbacks. You look at Ricks, you look at Sting, you look at our defensive secondary. There's big guys back there, and that's what Corey Raymond likes to recruit in that position. And not only big guys, but big guys who could run and big guys who could turn their hips. and run. And you know, it was look, Vanderbilt we thought was a bit tougher game.
Yeah, I agree.
And we had many opportunities to score in the game early in the red zone, and we have to take advantage of that. You know, in the future games we play. But you know, it was a good win for us. A lot of young guys got to play, bounce back, and you know, Coach O wanted to do that. He wanted to get back on the field, get back in the winning column, and we knew every game from here on out, this SEC games, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you mentioned Elias Ricks, 2 picks in 2 games, and I mean, I don't know if there's a better pairing of cornerbacks, at least just in terms of natural ball skills in the country, than what Stingley or Ricks are going to do. And watch out for the record books, because people are going to continue to attack Ricks instead of Stingley. How he's training, he has a chance to kind of rewrite things here. Verge, let's talk about Miles Brennan real quick. Game 1 to game 2. You know, the stats are more similar than you would think, given how different the games felt. What was the best area of improvement that you saw out of the quarterback?
He stayed in the pocket. He didn't run out the pocket. And then, you know, sometimes the pocket, he flushed out the pocket, he threw the ball. He knew he was going to the ball. There's some little things he still need to work on, you know, to get there. And, you know, it's not really fair because, you know, I was there and watching him play. And I'm looking at the game, and I'm saying, you know, we all compare him to the guy we had last year, who was just one of the best to ever wear a uniform at LSU, and one of the best, you know, look what he's doing now on Sundays.
Yeah.
And, you know, Joe Burrow was just that guy. And, you know, you're trying to compare and contrast those two guys. It's not fair to him. But, you know, he stepped up in the pocket. He made the right decisions. You know, he threw one interception. Work on his touch a little bit. Sometimes that ball's coming so hard, so fast out of his hand. But that comes with experience, though. That's come with playing more. And he, you know, I always say this here, and I'm a defensive guy. Like, you know, defensive guys about this. If your offense is scoring 30 points a game, you should win the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, look, after you get 20 points in a game, anybody's game, and your defense, you have to step up. So, you know, we're scoring 30 points on offense, so we have to stop people.
And so defensively, Verge, there's a lot of good this game. Ali Gay continues to rush the passer well. I like what I'm seeing out of B.J. Ujulari and Travis Moore. Like, there's a lot of good defensively. But before you get to that, I feel like I want to see a bit more out of Damone Clark. I don't know. It hasn't been bad. It's maybe had like a lack of impact more than anything else. It's just surprising to have number 18. How would you evaluate Damone Clark's play thus far?
You know, they've played well. And they say not great, but they've played well. And you remember we playing a new scheme on defense also. And when you're passing the ball, like teams passing the ball now, the quick passes, you kind of take your linebackers out of the game a little bit. Yeah. So it's not really fair to get a great evaluation. I think when you start playing more teams who are going to run the ball, they're going to test your linebackers a little more, especially the inside linebackers. But right now, what people are doing is spreading you out. You know, this game here, they was trying to run the option type, not much passing in this game. And everything they did was the quick screens. You have to just make the tackle. So overall, tackling-wise, you know, we did well. We get Logan back this week. You know, he set out the first 2 games, and it'd be huge for us up front in the defensive line. You know, we got some push there. I think he will improve us on the defensive front, which is important to our defense. This weekend, you saw our defense coordinator. He played a lot of zone, man. We did a lot of mixing it up, protecting the young guys back there. But overall, they did well. The linebackers, just, you know, the more they play, you know, they're 2 starting linebackers now this year for us. The more they play, the better they get. But they're not making mistakes when I'm watching them. They're not making mistakes where you say, wow, that's a drastic mistake. You know, some in their pass drops, have to get better in those pass drops and those pass lanes. Not jumping underneath route, but overall, though, they played pretty well.
Yeah, and just for the record, I think Jabril Cox has been absolutely fantastic. Even in that kind of scheme that was set up for the linebackers not to do great, I felt like he was all over the field Saturday.
Yes, he was. He's a very good football player.
All 3 freshman wide receivers, Kayshon Boutte, Coy Moore, Alex Adams, had catches on Saturday night. Eli Ricks had another interception. Jaquelin Roy was a monster in the middle on the defensive front. What have you made of this freshman class and the impact through 2 weeks?
You know, we have a young team, and we tell Coach O tells people we recruit young guys got to step up and play, and you like to see that. And you like to see, you know, our future. You know, not only this year, this short year we have, and this weird year we're having right now, but next year, you know, and the year after, you know, we building a program, and that's the most important part. and young guys playing well all over the field. Kashawn Butte, like I said, from New Iberia, I knew was going to be a good football player for us. Corey Moore from Rummel High in New Orleans, going to be a good football player. And Jaqueline Roy right from U-High. You know, I've watched that kid play for a long time with my kids at U-High. And I would tell people, Jaqueline Roy is the best football player that ever stepped foot out of U-High.
Yeah.
So of all the players you see playing all over the country from U-High, Jaqueline Roy is the best football player to ever come through U-High. So, so I'm very pleased, you know, with those guys where they play. And you look at Ricks, I mean, he's a pro-type cornerback, about 6'2", long guy who could make plays and could turn his hips. You know, you're putting freshmen in those situations. And we didn't have games to warm up this year. That's what I tell everybody. You know, you start in the SEC, and you look at the SEC's record this year, the road teams are winning. Eight out of eight road teams in one game. 8 out of 6 games have been on the road. So, you know, we want to tell our fans this week, especially, you know, with Missouri, we want to have it loud in that stadium. We want to have, you know, that experience where people come here, people are cheering and it's loud, and, you know, it's only be 25,000. You know, hopefully one day we get more, but, you know, we need that fan experience to, you know, to help us, those young guys play.
Verge, what about 8 o'clock kickoff back at home this week for the fans? Any messages or where they can keep up with information getting back in Baton Rouge?
You know, go to our website. Go see what's out there like you did the last time. The fans were great the first game. And we want people to come out. We want people to come to the game. And I think it'd be a great atmosphere. You know, we're watching a little disturbance in the Gulf right now. You know, hopefully that thing goes another direction. But we have to watch. We have to be careful with that. We have to prepare for that. And, you know, just continuously go to our website. We'll be putting information out daily to let people know what's going on.
Verge, one of my favorite things that I saw Saturday was the first Terrace Marshall touchdown where Arik Gilbert and Terrace Marshall were next to each other, lined up in the slot. And I'm just thinking defensively, and sure enough, right, Gilbert kind of sits down in the middle, draws up the coverage, and Marshall sneaks in right behind. I'm just wondering, your defensive mind, if you see those two guys lined up like that, like how do you defend that?
You know, I don't know how you defend that. That's two big receivers, okay?
They're huge.
And as a linebacker, I would look at that like, who those guys? Tight ends or tackles out there, you know? And you see them split out. You know, when you look at Gilbert, I mean, you look at that young man.
It's crazy, dude.
Just without a uniform on. I mean, he looks like, you know, when he first came to the indoor football field about a few weeks ago for the ring ceremony, I asked some of my people, say, now what NFL team does he play with? And he said, no, he's a freshman. I'm like, wow. Like, you know, you look at his body, great shape he's in. He's 250. He looks like he's 230. But to talk about a tremendous football player, I mean, one of the best football players in the country that Coach O signed. And that's the thing, you know, when we go out of state, we want to get the best players. We want to make sure we're taking care of the best players in the state of Louisiana, which we have a lot of great players here, skilled players. But you look at Gilbert, you look at Ricks, those two guys from California, from Georgia, they're two of the best in the country. Yeah. And that's how we want to recruit. That's how we want to build our platform here to have a great football team.
Well, and speaking of just looking big, this jumped out to me. Ollie Gay just looks bigger than everybody else on the field. I mean, that kid is massive.
Talk about a special player, not another player from Georgia. I mean, a special guy, special player. He's going to be one of these big-time defensive ends. You know, he has that potential to be, he and number 11, those guys have potential to be, you know, first-round draft picks, do some special things here at LSU. And, you know, when I was watching him on the field, I was like, wow, who is that number 8? That guy's all over the field. And that's the thing right there. These guys are so young on our team right now, you know, we don't even know their names. I mean, we played a running back the other day from Houston, Texas, number 25, the guy who Coach O gave a scholarship to this year. I mean, he ran well at the end of the game, and everybody told me how good of a running back he is. So, you know, we have so many young guys out there, which is good to see. And, you know, this game here, they had fun. The team had fun after the game. They were laughing, having fun in the locker room. And that's what we want to do, have fun. And this is the type of year it is. Have fun, play hard, and every game is a big game. You know, Missouri and coming in here Saturday is going to be another big game. Yep. Don't look at what they did before the scores. This is like an NFL season. Every game is a big game. You were talking about Oklahoma and Texas and all those other teams, and that's it. There's no warm-up games. You're starting in the conference play, and that's why you're seeing these rankings changing every week.
Yeah, Verge was talking about Josh Williams, the freshman running back from Houston, Texas, who came in as a walk-on. He had 8 carries for 30 yards on Saturday versus Vanderbilt, now as a scholarship running back for LSU. We always love these conversations every Monday, Verge. Have a great week. We'll see you in Tiger Stadium on Saturday night and talk to you on Monday morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan T-Bob. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. There he is, Executive Deputy Director of Athletics, Verge Ausberry, checking in. We'll close at hour one next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Daily brought to you here on OTB every single day by All-Star Toyota.
Our good friends.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Remember, All-Star Toyota is located on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. Easy to get in and access the showroom this morning if you're looking for brand new vehicles, if you're looking for pre-owned and certified cars, if you want to lease a car, looking for a hybrid model. All of those conversations can happen today over at All-Star Toyota. You can start the conversation online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Stop in and see them and tell them you heard it right here on Off the Bench.
Some great October deals for you. 0% APR financing for 72 months on that new Camry. 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new Corolla. Enter the tailgate sweepstakes that you can find right there on allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. That's where I got the new Sienna from. It's incredible. I also rent vehicles from there when I need them in a pinch. Talk to him as Lisa Sessions over there. They're the best. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
If I built a van,
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints lines as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Weekend winners coming up here in a couple of minutes. No bigger winner this weekend than Ben Mintz. We'll tell you all about his Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up here in a couple of minutes. If you have weekend winners, jump inside the Bayou Ford chat app on YouTube. Just use the hashtag weekend winners, and we will express that here in a couple of minutes on OTV. What you got, big fella?
Brian Fletcher in the YouTube chat saying that I've been
Big
saying
Fletch.
he's our guy.
Insecure, but he's our guy.
He is our guy. He always comes at me for not being good, but I don't know where he played. He played football, I don't know.
I think he played at Woodlawn.
There you go. Right? What are you gonna do? Anyway, he was saying that he thinks that Cam Wire should be the starter over Dare Rosenthal, and that he said that multiple times last week. Look, Cam Wire played well, but after watching the game again, I don't believe that he played any better or worse really than Dare did. I mean, you think back 2 weeks ago, Dare really had one egregious beat.
Yeah.
I think Cam Wire also had one egregious beat in this Vanderbilt game. I think Saturday ultimately felt so much better because the offensive line, not because they necessarily won their one-on-ones at a better rate, but it was because they cut down on the mental mistakes. Like the assignment football was excellent for the most part. And then like we talked about, probably the best part of the improvement in Brennan's performance was the pocket presence. It was trusting the interior. It was stepping up to help out the tackles. But the good news there, and Brian, I'm just messing with you. It's like not to mess with you at all. The good news there
I'm messing with him now.
is that if you started Cam Wire over Dare, like I'd be fine with it. The point is there's not that big of a drop-off with your two
I
left
agree.
tackles.
They both look like big grizzly bears that can dance.
And so they may not be like, the best. They may not be great. I don't know if they're going to be considered a strength of the team. I also don't know if they're a weakness. But you do have depth at that position at least. Like there's not a huge drop-off from whoever ends up sticking with that job.
All right, weekend winners coming up here in a couple of minutes. If you've got a weekend winner, jump inside of the Bayou Ford chat app with the hashtag weekend winner. We'll read it in a couple of minutes.
Adam Hall, I mean, this was our question Saturday night at 1 a.m. after all the I actually saw the LSU buses coming home when I was leaving this building. Yeah, how about that? Wow. But this is the question. Who's
the second best team in the West?
The second best team in the West. Question. And then is the East better than the West this year?
Hell of a question.
I mean, it's kind of wild. Musso, really think about it. Really think about it.
Who's the second best team in the SEC West today? Who is it?
I think it's I keep coming back to
Off
LSU.
the Bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Daily, we're brought to you by Ochsner. Remember, over at Ochsner, cool programs everywhere, man. The sports medicine program, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Covington. Our friend Warren Fitzmaurice, who is a mental performance coach, he works with professional athletes. He works with high school athletes. He works with young athletes in the New Orleans area. And you can get in touch with Warren. He is a mental performance coach. You can call him directly at 504-703-0805. Check out what Warren's doing for all high school seniors and college seniors. He is offering to see them twice at no charge from now all the way through December. They'll have a couple of restrictions that he'll be able to explain to you in person. But if you are a high school senior, if you're a college senior, and you're going into your final year, you're in your final year, get in touch with Warren Fitzmaurice, a mental performance coach at Ochsner, New Orleans, 504-703-0805. Learn more online, ochsner.org.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, October 5th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 83. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up in hour two, we give you our weekend winners next. Sports Illustrated's Ross Dellinger talking college football at 8:30. Follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Get over to the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live there and interact inside the Bayou Ford chat. While you're at YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off the Bench, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Powered and driven every single day by All-Star Toyota. What the hell's going on with the Wi-Fi in the building?
It hasn't worked for like 3 or 4 days.
It wasn't working Saturday.
I have been linked to a hotspot on my phone for days.
I'd imagine that every industry and trade is tough to do without Wi-Fi, but radio is nearly impossible. I mean, can we get that fixed?
Well, at least your computer is hardwired in, right? So I believe that one still has the internet. We're making it, but yeah, ideally, we could.
Stick around, hour 2. We're going to talk college football with Ross Dellinger. 30 minutes ago, Executive Deputy Director of Athletics, Verge Ausberry, was here. Verge was given some insight. Love the Verge segment each week. Brought to you by Capital Partners. Remember, capitalpartnersfirm.com. Jesse McCormick, Daryl Cahoon. If you need government representation, whether you're an individual, a business, get in touch with Capital Partners. Good friends of our show here on Off the Bench. Always appreciate the support from Jesse McCormick and his crew. Stick around. We'll talk college football with Ross Dellinger coming up here in 30 minutes. We got your weekend winners starting you off just like we do every Monday here on Off the Bench. We love your interaction inside the Bayou Ford chat app. We invite it every single day. If you have any weekend winners, hashtag weekend winners inside of the Bayou Ford chat app. What you got, T?
Shout out to our guy Tanush Shigarwal in the YouTube chat.
What up, TA?
He says he's a 6th grader from Singapore learning English. I think he's either a bot or an FBI agent looking for child trafficking. But you know what he did do? He liked, subscribed, and hit the bell. Be like Tanush.
I'm not going to walk into the trap and ask for Tanush's contact information like I did the 16-year-old last week, and I'm not emailing or mailing out any more T-shirts because I have searched this building up and down, and there are no more T-shirts. In fact, the door closed behind my last week to confirm that this place is a haunted house, and I am sorry, Jeff, down in Kenner. I will get you some 104.5 ESPN swag. I just can't find the T-shirts anywhere in the building right now.
Yeah, the ghost took them. What are you going to do? It's Halloween.
T-Bob Rivers and Nathan have bailed on the slumber party due to logistics here.
No. Well, not bailed. I was going to do one of those things, ask for forgiveness, not for approval, and being a 31-year-old adult now, I decided against it.
Oh,
and
I was wondering how Gordy caught wind of that because I know he didn't listen to this show.
No, no, it was my choice.
Look at you, bro.
Yeah, I decided to use a little discretion here and actually go to the bosses with the
Adulthood's
idea.
not as cool as it seems, is it?
But yeah, so because there's a lot of COVID restrictions and everything right now. Whatever. We were planning on spending that here tonight, but Nathan is in town all month. So if we get the thumbs up from the higher ups, it is absolutely still on. We just don't know when exactly.
Weekend winners every Monday. Here's the latest one.
That's how winning is done.
Friday night.
That's right.
What?
We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
First weekend winner outside of the LSU game for me, because the rest of them will be LSU-centric, is Iowa State. The Iowa State Cyclones beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
First time since 1960 in Ames. This is more just really to take a shot at Boomer Sooner. They are 0-2 in Big 12 play, which I think is funny.
Yeah, it's
that is funny.
The entire Big 12 is just a mess.
Texas, Tom Herman. What a
72.
gargantuan.
That's the number.
A gargantuan bullet LSU dodged with Tom Herman. I mean, don't let Joe Oliva take any credit for Ed Ogeron. He did everything he could to try and hire Tom Herman. He was so pissed off when Herman left him at the altar that he gave pretty much the same contract. He changed scribbled out a couple of numbers on the contract and just offered it to O after he swung and missed on Herman for, I think, the third time within that week of negotiation.
We still got to give Oliva a moniker. I mean, he still landed on O at the end.
That's my weekend winner.
Okay. My weekend winners. I'm going to start with the guys that you're seeing all over TV this morning. Jarvis and Odell.
Yeah.
You all know their story. Best friends, growing up here at LSU together, talking about their dreams. They talk about how wild it is to play in the NFL together. I loved Odell's post-game quote about what it was like to catch a touchdown from his best friend. In case you missed it yesterday, the Browns ran a nice little reverse trick pass where Jarvis Landry threw a 30-yard touchdown to Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham basically said he was just speechless when he was in the end zone. It was just so crazy. He said he couldn't help but think back to them talking in WCA's parking lot about what they wanted to do, and now here they are on the NFL stage. They're throwing touchdowns to one another, which is so absurd to begin with. And then how about this? I said it going into the weekend. I said I would love nothing more than if the Cleveland Browns were to move to 3-1 while simultaneously dropping the Cowboys to 1-3. And not only did they did it, but they demolished the Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence has called him soft. Jerry Jones is celebrating because he doesn't have to pay Dak Prescott. Cowboys fans are crying all over the place. They should be 0-4. So a sub-winner in this is anybody who hates the Dallas Cowboys. But shout out to Odell and Jarvis.
The Atlanta Falcons couldn't cover an onside kick. Matthew Musso.
Yes, one of my favorite tweets from the Jarvis Odell thing was, I forgot who said it. They said, Jarvis Landry's a better quarterback than Matt Ryan, which is also funny.
Julio Jones tweeted that.
Yeah, there it is. Weekend winner, Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Quite literally. First win And, of course, in true Joe Burrow fashion, sets records in route to that victory. First NFL rookie quarterback to have 3 300-yard passing games in a row. Also said the game ball, that's just going to go right back in the bag. We're just going to use that one again.
Is there anything more Burrow than that?
Nope.
Said it's a good ball. It is,
Penny only got sacked one time, so that had to feel good.
That's the brightest spot of the day.
It really is.
He's given up I get the game ball thing, and it's ultimately why he does separate himself, but it's kind of a bummer hit to the man cave because if you're a badass quarterback like him, you can collect like hundreds of those, and it looks really badass when you retire and you have those things all over your room.
How many of the real balls that are displayed inside of the man cave rooms do we believe are the true game balls?
Look, I'm obviously very fortunate. I grew up around a ton of them, and they are the game balls. They take them and the team paints them up afterwards with what happens on that game, and then you get to keep it for your trophy case.
Because I have seen the Emmitt Smith warehouse or storage unit filled of all his touchdown balls. And
he kept every single touchdown.
Every single touchdown football he has.
Scored probably like 1,000 touchdowns.
Has them painted, date, how the play.
Now that's
final
a cool
score.
man. That's a cool man cave thing. If you just had a wall that was just all of that, like that, and Emmitt Smith probably scored enough to do that.
Danny.
Jimmy. What?
Thinking of Jimmy Ott.
We'll get to Otter.
Not a weekend winner.
Another terrible week in the Degeneration Dome.
Well, weekend winner goes out to Jabriz, showing out big time on the big stage. Comeback needed.
Yep,
for sure.
Everything was trending against him, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's hurt.
First pass of the game.
The false the first pass gets picked up. I didn't even think about that, right? The false positive that leads to 1 a.m. testing. They got a noon kickoff, so guys are only sleeping 5 to 6 hours, if that. And the Saints go down 14-0, and then they roar back. They kick ass. They find a way to get it done, and now they have an extra long week to try to get healthy, try to get recovered. I love what Jeff Marcone points out in the huddle. Trequan Smith has more touchdowns than Julio Jones has over his last 14 games.
That's amazing. That is amazing, man. I mean, to have that cat without any touchdowns. Okay, I got a couple of LSU guys from Saturday night. Jontre Kirkland was a weekend winner on Saturday. He had 3 catches. 2 of them go for scores. Jaquelin Roy was a force in the middle after getting no playing time versus Mississippi State. He made his presence felt in the interior of that defensive front. And Cameron Wise, man, Cam Wire, the biggest, I thought, taking advantage of an opportunity on Saturday night. As Dare Rosenthal was ruled out, as Coach O said it here on Off the Bench last Tuesday, he didn't know whether or not Rosenthal was going to go. Ultimately, Rosenthal dressed out and was going to be an emergency option if Wire was not going to be able to execute. He played start to finish, and he played fantastic. And as T-Bob said, now you have 2 left tackles that you feel pretty comfortable in.
Yeah.
If you put them out there.
Yeah. Through 2 weeks, the young guys on this team, you could say, or at least this weekend they were winners. But between Ujulari, Gilbert, which I just love that you both got them from Marietta High School. That's just wild that you got both those guys.
I mean, you think
there.
about this, what LSU did in recruiting to the state of Georgia. They took the top junior college player out of the state in Allie Gay, who is originally from the state of Georgia, went to junior college, but LSU gets him. They get the top defensive player in the state of Georgia out of high school recruiting in B.J. Ojulari, who's the top defensive end. And then they get the best offensive player out of Georgia as well.
And Enrique Gilbert. I mean
Enrique
like, sorry,
Gilbert.
Kirby.
I mean, it's like
you may be 5-star Central, but we coming in and we taking some of the big pieces. And look at and it's easy to see. Look at LSU probably pitched them on exactly what's happening now. Like, you will play. Like, there's a path to the field very early for you. And so these guys are avoiding what Miles is currently having to go through, which is regardless of how long you've been in that program, your first game's your first game. So that's why these young players, this young LSU team, is so exciting long-term because, well, Ali Gay's not going to be there long-term, but like these other guys, the way that they develop could be absolutely spectacular.
Anybody teasing themselves that Ali Gay will be back for another season, I mean, like, let it be known now. He is gone.
Okay, so the only
he's gone.
The only reason why I won't say
he ain't playing in a bowl either.
The only reason why I won't say anything that declarative is
you don't think that pro scouts are looking at this guy? It doesn't matter the production that they see the rest of the way out and says, get him to the league.
If he's that type of player, though, then he could threaten top 10 pick range, right? And so that's when that be like, if he truly is that, and
You
he
believe
plays
he is?
well in the big games. Let's see him in some of the big games first. But he's been great. I mean, he's been great through 2 weeks. But if he is that type of player, then there's always the argument that, okay, is he a guy that's like second, third round, but if he comes back, he maybe becomes a top 10 pick? So let's just enjoy the present with Ali Gay. My next weekend winner, Alvin Kamara, continues to do his best Mike Thomas impression. And by that, I mean get paid and then set records. He's been fantastic. He scores his 7th touchdown yesterday in 4 games. That is a Saints franchise record. He breaks Jimmy Graham's. It's his 6th straight regular season game with a touchdown that ties a franchise record. I imagine he'll get in the end zone again next week. Just the threat that he is when he is healthy. And then you bring Mike Thomas back, and you look at the developing relationship with Emmanuel Sanders and Breeze, which is getting going. We mentioned Trequan Smith setting up, and this offense finally is starting to feel like the offense that you were expecting coming in. And again, I love these goal line packages with Latavius Murray and Kamara, and how it just gives you this sort of you don't know. You're a dog with too many tennis balls at that point. You don't know what you want to defend, the power running of Murray or the speed of Kamara.
Anything else? Yeah, one more. Stephen A. Smith kind of playing off T-Bob's Cowboys thing. Stephen A. released another great video trolling the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, but our boy's sitting there smacking on a chocolate chip cookie, sipping a glass of milk, and laughing at the Dallas Cowboys, and it's just fantastic.
He's the man, dude.
He loves it so much.
He's the man.
I did see, I tell you what, something that will annoy you watching college football on Saturday. I was watching Alabama and A&M as Alabama bludgeons the Aggies again, 52-24, but it was a little closer than the score would say.
You think?
A&M
moved.
They were moving the ball.
They were
moving the ball.
I hard disagree, but we can have that argument later if we want.
But one thing that will annoy you in watching Alabama this year is I watched so many plays where 3 Baton Rouge guys getting up off the tackle. You had Chris Allen from Southern Lab, Dylan Moses from University High, and Christian Harris from University High were just they're all over the place for Alabama on Saturday. That's Baton Rouge guys making plays for the Tide.
And it sucks, but look, sometimes your hometown, it's a disadvantage, right? If you're a U-High kid, I get wanting to go to LSU. I also get wanting to get the hell out, right? I mean, it's something you've grown up here. You know everybody. Like, college is time to go explore things. It is what it is. You lose some, you win some. I'm very worried about the Alabama game. They clearly look like the best team in the SEC.
They look like Alabama.
And it's because the offensive and defensive lines look dominant again. But, hey, there's a lot of time left before then to try to improve. Kind of not a lot of time, though. Weird fast season here. I mean, we are hurtling through this thing. So let's, slow down and enjoy it.
Ross Dellinger coming up in 15 minutes.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you daily by Coy's Diesel. Remember, online at coysdiesel.com. You can log online and chat with sales this morning, get a service appointment, or 24-hour roadside assistance if you need it. Coy's Diesel is online at coysdiesel.com. Whether you drive a GMC Duramax, a Dodge Cummins, or a Ford Power Stroke, Coy's can get you back up on the road today. Stop in and see them on Airline Highway in Gonzales, or search them online at coysdiesel.com.
Don't let the Coys confuse you. I don't know if they're Tottenham fans or not, but I do know that they are diesel vehicle fans. And so, in fact, if you have any diesel vehicle problems, you got a Duramax, a Dodge Cummins, Ford Power Stroke, it don't matter, year, make, model, they got it all. The website's a really great resource if you're just looking for parts. You want to shop by vehicle. There's drop-down menus where you can find exactly what you need. You need a scheduled service for your diesel vehicle. You need financing, 24/7 emergency roadside assistance. Coys has your back. Go to coysdiesel.com, coysdiesel.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints lines as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, every day we're brought to you by Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Remember, online, dgbauto.com. If you're in an accident today or you're in an accident over the weekend and you need collision repair, Donaldsonville Glass and Body is the only stop. They can help you out with 24-hour towing, 415 Division Street, and online at dgbauto.com. Stop in and see Kenny Frederick Jr. and his great team over there. I wasn't saying
Great
that
guys.
Texas A&M had a
I've left
chance.
my car with a broken transmission there for 2 weeks, and they haven't even bugged me.
Really?
Yeah, it's just still in there.
I haven't. I really wasn't. I wasn't saying that Texas A&M had a chance against Alabama on Saturday because it never felt like that. But 52-24.
I guess the only reason why I push back so hard against that is just because that's the same BS I hear every year from the A&M Alabama game.
Yeah.
Is, they actually moved the ball. It's like, no, Kellen Mond had one big run or there was one big play. It was never actually close. Ever. There was never any sign of consistent success from A&M and a consistent lack of success from Alabama. The bad part about Alabama is even as good as Kyle Trask has played, in my opinion, Jordy, it is becoming abundantly clear that I think Mac Jones is the best quarterback in the SEC. When you can protect him. And the reason why I say that is if you look at last year, his numbers, and really anytime in his career up to this point, his numbers have been insane except for that Auburn game where what happened? He was under constant duress. So he's like every other quarterback in the world, and that obviously pressure affects him. I think it might affect him more than some others, but the problem is without a Derek Brown-led defensive line, is there a D-line in the SEC that can affect him in that way with how good Alabama's offensive line is? I don't know. Obviously, that's why you brought in Bo Pelini, was to be more disruptive, to get to the quarterback more. I really like what Ali Gay and Ujulari are doing thus far, but I mean, the Alabama tackles are going to be a far cry from what they faced here in week 1 and week 2. So ultimately, that's what's scary about Bama this year is that when protected, Mac Jones will make all the right decisions, and then those wide receivers can just stretch you so vertically.
Auburn? Fraudburn?
Fraudburn. There you go. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Fraudburn.
Yeah.
I like that.
Figured you'd like that.
And
rest of the room, man.
And especially because I bought in to the fraud.
Dude,
I
played the money line on Saturday. I had him winning the game outright.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
I thought for sure that Bo Nix was the answer.
I didn't go that. I mean, in pregame, I guess I meant about in the preseason hype. In pregame, we did say Saturday that ultimately Georgia's defense was gonna just dominate Bo Nix and company.
They took their best players. They took Bo Nix. They took Seth Williams and completely shut them down. I mean, made them feel just irrelevant throughout the day. Williams had an enormous first day and first week of the season versus Kentucky, where he was abusing those cornerbacks from Lexington, from Kentucky. He had 3 catches for 34 yards. None of them meant anything on Saturday. Bo Nix was 21 of 40 on Saturday for 177 yards with a pick. I mean, it was, whether it was Auburn's offense and the lack of competence on that side of the ball, or was it Georgia being as great as advertised on the defensive side? I thought Auburn had their opportunities. I really did. I thought they had chances to strike. I didn't think that the Georgia defense felt, like you couldn't move the ball. They felt like they gave opportunities. They stepped up and made plays when they had to, but Auburn did not. Right? I mean, like Georgia made timely plays. They stepped up. And they got tough when they needed to on the defensive side, but Auburn let opportunity after opportunity go by on Saturday, and to me, that was a great road marker, mile marker test for Nix on where he is in year 2, and he ain't even close.
Nix, I know. I mean, and I think I said before the season started that I thought that he had the potential to swing the SEC West more than anybody else, because if he was really good, then maybe Auburn could be really good. But he doesn't seem really good. He doesn't necessarily seem bad. He just seems completely average.
Yeah, he's just mediocre
at this point. And unfortunately, that's just not going to get it done in this year's West. And then again, you just can't, anytime you talk about Auburn, you just cannot get away from the drop-off on the defensive line. I mean, it was the reason why they managed to go 9-4 last year. It's why they played LSU tough. It's why they beat Alabama. And, it doesn't feel like anything else improved. It feels like you just took that away and the rest of Auburn remained the same. And obviously that's damning. And, well, you saw what happened in that Georgia game. So credit to the – okay, so who is the second best team in the West right now? A question we asked in the first half. And then – is the East better than the West? Because credit right now to the East, they look like they have 2 elite teams versus the West's 1 elite team.
Yeah, the 2 elite teams that T-Bob's talking about. Big win for Georgia on Saturday over Auburn, and then Florida takes care of South Carolina 38-24. Kyle Trask, again, 4 touchdowns for him. That's 10 touchdowns through 2 weeks for Trask in the offense. But Kyle Pitts, he looks unguardable. As far as the first 2 weeks of the season go. Pitts is a tight end who had 4 grabs, 2 catches for touchdowns on Saturday. He's got this feeling where when the ball's in the air and people are around him, where it's like it's almost man against boys type thing, where he's just bigger, stronger, faster than everybody out there. And him and Trask have great chemistry through the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, what you got? 6 TDs so far. He's my Heisman pick so far is Pitts. I would love it if a tight end won the Heisman. It'll never happen, but that'd be crazy. Already, I think you can start the conversations. How does LSU D him up? Do you have a designated person that you want to put on him? I mean, they keep thinking about the New England Patriots and how they essentially have a guy on the roster whose sole job is to stop tight ends.
What if they put Jabril Cox on?
I mean, Cox looked really good.
I mean, is that where he helps you the best? In coverage, his athleticism?
He's really fast.
I mean, way that cat can run. And Pitts, the scouting report on Pitts is that he's not supposed to be that big and run that fast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like if anybody could be able to keep up with him in a one-on-one scenario, because I don't think you can just man him up, right? I mean, but if there was anybody that you wanted to match him up with, the only one that would make sense from a physical standpoint that could keep up with him as big and fast as he is would be Jabril Cox.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacoby Stevens can't run with him, can he?
I mean, I don't know. Well, is Cox better in coverage than Stevens is, though? I mean, Stevens would maybe seem like the guy, even though I do agree that our kind of understanding of Stevens has always been that, he's very good at everything, but that maybe coverage isn't his strongest suit. Do you put Stingley on him? I mean, do you just try to shut down best on best and kind of work your game plan? I mean, then you open up things for Kadarius Toney and others on the outside, but I mean, I'm not completely close to the idea. Also, Stingley probably wants a little revenge after last year when Pitts had that good drive on him. Where I think he got him like 3 or 4 times on the same drive. Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna have to get into the think cave, and we're gonna have to continue to try to come up with ideas about how to stop Kyle Pitts. But certainly the LSU coach staff is doing the same. I will say this one interesting thing to note. While Arik Gilbert is not Kyle Pitts yet, he is very good, and he's also very comparable body. And so if you're thinking from a pure practice standpoint on like somebody who can at least emulate Pitts, give you that look and what it's going to take to stop him, Arik Gilbert's kind of an interesting play from that perspective.
You know who Pitts reminds me of, and just looking at him, watching the television and seeing him, is Plaxico Burress. Like, he's got this big, long, rangy type frame to him where he's got this deceiving speed, but when you throw the ball up in the air, I mean, he's the one that always comes down with it. A young Plaxico Burress, to me, is what Pitts it reminds me of. And, yes, that is, to me, how Gilbert will be featured in this LSU offense at some point, and that's the type of player potentially Gilbert can be, where you just put him one-on-one and you just throw it up, and 8 out of 10 times he's coming down with it.
Yeah, and you're already seeing it, and he's handling some of those rockets from miles and miles of stepping up in the pocket. I mean, the third down potential of Gilbert is excellent. The red zone potential is excellent. As I said, and hopefully we'll get to this in a film breakdown later in the week, but one of my favorite things I saw at a Saturday's film was when they put Arik Gilbert and Terrace Marshall next to each other in the slot. I just don't know defensively what you do with that. They both draw your attention so heavily that it truly is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, where as long as Miles makes the correct decision, which he absolutely did on Saturday, then you're going to score. In the huddle, Ricky Compton asking, would you rather have Bo Nix or Miles Brennan as your quarterback? It's not even close.
That's not even a discussion.
Look at Miles' deep ball, man. I mean, he throws one of the best deep balls that we have seen in forever. And like on that flea flicker, I just keep going back to it because he knew he was going to get demolished, and he still put that thing in the back of the end zone. Like, only the receiver had a chance to make that play almost no matter what.
Hell of a play by Kirkland, but a couple of the play actions, a couple of the 3 and the 5 step drops. A couple of the 3 and the 5 step drops. You come off that final step and get rid of it, man. He looks good in some of those scenarios. We'll talk to Ross Dellinger next.
Look at that throw.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you by All-Star Toyota. Remember, online All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Get in touch with the great team over there, Aaron Piku in sales. Stop in and see him. Tommy Waggis back in the service department. Miss Lisa Sessions is over there. Great people in the collision department as well. Stop in and see him online. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You can find them there. Great inventory online, whether it's brand new cars or used car or pre-owned and certified vehicles. Remember, they want to get you into a model today. Online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, so look, whether you're looking to lease, whether you're looking to buy a new car, maybe you want, you're looking at the more affordable options. Toyota certified used vehicles are very interesting to check out as well, because they come with a lot of the advantages that you only normally get on new vehicles, like a warranty and other things to extend the life of said vehicle. So no matter what you need, All-Star Toyota can guide you to the answers that you are looking for. And for me, that was invaluable to get the minivan. Now I'm happy whenever the kids love it. It's the best. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints Lions as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, college football up and moving. One of the faces and best writers in the sport from Sports Illustrated, Ross Dellinger, joins us every Monday morning here on Off the Bench to recap the weekend. Look forward to the week ahead in the sport. And Ross is with us. Good morning. How are you, Ross?
Good. How are y'all?
Doing good,
Doing
man.
well, man.
What did you make of what you saw in Athens? I thought that this was a huge spot for Bo Nix, and Auburn was going to be a mile marker as far as being able to give you some feedback on where he was in year two. And as T-Bob and I were talking about last segment, if that is the case, they're not even close. What did you make of what you saw from Georgia and Auburn on Saturday?
Yeah, I think what stuck out to me is what has kind of stuck out about Georgia, right, the last few years is they're better at the line of scrimmage than pretty much everybody they play. Offensive lines and defensive lines, they are better. And it's not a real big surprise if you go back on signing day. And I think I saw somebody tweet this out, and I thought it was a very appropriate. Is that the Auburn Georgia game is won by Georgia every year in February, with the guys they bring in. I remember I think I've talked to you guys about it on the show before, but SEC Media Days, the last one we had last year, I remember compiling the numbers of maybe it was 5-star, I think, signees in the SEC. Georgia has more than Alabama. They have the most over the last 4 years since Kirby's been there. And I think we saw exactly that come out on the field. They're just better at the line of scrimmage. Now, are they going to be good enough, Georgia, to beat the Alabamas, of the world, or the Ohio States. That maybe we'll find out, I guess, in about a week and a half in Tuscaloosa. But certainly they feel head and shoulders above the Auburn level, and it is disappointing for Auburn, I'm sure. But at the same time, you just look at the talent over there, and they're really, really talented, and they have been the last few years. They've just kind of been missing, right, a piece or two here, not making a play or two here, specifically against Alabama. And I don't know if this year is the year that happens or not, but they certainly showed how much better they are than the Auburn Tigers. And now you're looking at Auburn down the stretch with some question marks, right? It should be interesting to follow. It seems like every year we talk about the Gus bus and it being on the hot seat, so to speak, and I'm sure that's going to be the case this year as well.
Talking to Ross Dellinger here on OTB. Ross, top to bottom, SEC West or SEC East through 2 weeks?
Well, through 2 weeks only, I think it probably is the East, which is shocking. I don't know the last time I said that, but Georgia and Florida and even Tennessee look pretty strong, man. I mean, they look impressive. And then after you see what Georgia did to Auburn, I think you definitely kind of drift in that direction of the SEC East being maybe a tiny bit stronger through the first 2 weeks. I don't know if they are overall stronger, but I'll tell you what, Florida Gators,
they look really
good.
good.
Really good. I mean, they. I think some people have mentioned it over the weekend, but they do remind you the way they play and the way they score specifically of LSU last year.
Yeah, I agree. Kyle Trask is playing fantastic. So is Mac Jones. If you had to pick one of those two guys, who do you think? I think the more interesting question is, who do you think will be on top by season's end, just from like a pure quarterback evaluation standpoint?
Yeah, just quarterback only, and not necessarily team that
Yes.
surrounds him. Because I think Mac Jones probably has an advantage when it comes to the whole team surrounding him. And I watched a lot of Mac, and he made some great throws. He really looked good against Texas A&M, and he looked pretty good the week before against Kentucky as well. But I do think Trask is probably going to be maybe a nudge better by the end of the season when it comes to quarterback evaluation stuff and projections at the next level, especially. But he's got people around him too. I mean, the Kyle Pitts kid is playing, out of his mind. I think 6 touchdowns or something through a couple of games. It's been wild to watch that. Speaking of, players on the next level, I mean, obviously that guy's making himself a lot of money right now.
Yeah, Trask has 10 touchdown passes through 2 weeks, 6 of them going to Kyle Pitts.
It's for Heisman. Let's get a tight end the award. Come on,
Ross. How tough is life in Norman, Oklahoma this morning?
Oh man, wow! I mean, who saw that coming? I think it's the back-to-back Big 12 losses for the first time since the mid or late 90s at OU. So it's almost been 30 years. It's crazy to kind of wrap your mind around that. A lot of questions. Guys, we've seen the hole in Oklahoma the last few years, and it's gotten exposed when they play really elite competition, specifically when they play SEC teams in the playoff. We've seen it happen against Georgia, Alabama, and LSU. It's their defense, and it's been exposed. It's exposed for several years in a row, and thought maybe they're turning a corner with Alex Grinch last year. And then late last season, the defense kind of went back to old, it felt like, and then obviously this year, the offense can't quite keep up with the defense, which is just about as poor as we've seen at OU the last few years. I mean, the tackling, I didn't watch that whole game against Iowa State, but I watched bits and pieces late, and the tackling was just atrocious. I mean, just really bad, and that's fundamental stuff. So there's going to be some soul searching this week in Norman for sure.
My good friend Larry Plank Ross wants me to ask you, who is on the hotter coaching seat right now? Is it Tom Herman at Texas or is it Jimbo Fisher at A&M?
I'd probably say Tom, but that's a good question, and I think both of those guys are probably in a way feeling it. Here's the thing about Jimbo. I mean, his deal is guaranteed. It's got, I think, 7 more years left.
I guess I think of it more of like a fan satisfaction thing, because you're right. I mean, Jimbo's not in any threat of being fired.
Great business by Woodward. Great business by Woodward, locking the Aggies into that for a decade.
That's right. Good job, Woody. Right? Yeah. Way to stick it to him.
I hadn't considered that.
That is a great move.
Yeah. But I still would probably say Tom. There's certainly some serious frustrations over there, and although their buyout is big too, and their staff buyout is big. I think I saw Max Olson from The Athletic he tweeted about that last week about how big the buyout would be. I mean, it's multiple millions of dollars for the staff in him, but not quite as much as Jimbo, which I think at this point is still like 70+ million, which is insane. Or not 70+ million. It'd be around 50+ million, but it's still like insane to think about. So yeah, I would still say that it's Tom. There's and you wonder how much the pandemic will impact some of these decisions that are going to be made when it comes to firing. You know, we thought it would be a slow year, and then a game in, Southern Miss fired Jay Hobson. So I don't know how slow it's really going to be. You know, you've got some serious seats that are warm. You know, from Tom Herman to Will Muschamp at South Carolina, maybe Gus, as we just talked about. Yeah. I don't know really how much that the pandemic's going to impact these decisions, because we all know that the triggers can be pulled pretty quickly at these places.
SI.com, from SI.com, every Monday here on Off the Bench, Ross Dellinger talking college football. You can hit him on Twitter at Ross Dellinger, a great read and follow to keep up with all of what's happening with college football. Last one, we'll get you out of here. LSU bounced back, much expected in Nashville versus Vanderbilt. But some high points. Miles Brennan throws for 300 yards again. A couple of new faces making some plays. Anything that you saw from the Tigers stand out on Saturday night?
Well, Emory, he when number 4 got the ball, I made sure to put down my drink and made sure I was paying attention to the game, because he was making some really good plays. He's a hard runner. He's got some shiftiness with the feet too. I was impressed. He stuck out. Obviously, Miles' numbers, I think I saw, were through 2 games of a career, it's the most ever for a quarterback in LSU history, right? So what we're seeing, I think, first of all, we're seeing them show off a little bit Miles' arm, but also we're seeing what Ed Orgeron talked about over the offseason is they're going to keep the offense, the same. And it does look pretty similar, right? I mean, you guys would know it and seen it more than me, but it does look like they're keeping it the same. But Emory really stood out, and I'm sure they're going to ride him a little more this season, because it was impressive.
Yeah, I think they're tailoring it around the edges, as you should, but the core philosophies remain the same, which is ultimately great for LSU fans. Ross, make sense of Mississippi State to me after 2 weeks.
The Mike Leach experience, right? That's what we've seen for years and years with his team. They will shock you and have a big upset, and then they will lose the very next week to probably a team they shouldn't. And we've seen that over and over again. But I would just wonder how much, when you go look back at T-Bob at that LSU game, if LSU would have made some
it's pure scheme. No, I mean, it drove home that it was pure scheme why you lost that game.
Yeah, and it's disappointing, really is, because, man, I just kept waiting, right, for, when they're going to back up the corners, when they're going to play some zone, and it just never happened.
Yeah. Delly, have a good week, a good weekend. We'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, guys, see y'all.
Ross Dellinger checking in. Remember, we're brought to you by Central Plumbing Company. Online, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Residential and commercial plumbing services can be taken care of by Jay Payne, Zach Payne, Brandon LeBlanc, and the crew this morning. Remember, they got a storm in the Gulf that everybody's monitoring right now, but a storm out there. If you lost power a couple of weeks ago and thinking about a full-service generator, a full-home generator, Central Plumbing Company, call the Paynes today at 8552. We will close out hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by the Lanois, LANOIXagency.com. Get in touch with BG, David, and Randy this morning for all of your auto, home, business, flood insurance needs. They can get you some cool savings this morning. If you want to find a savings starting point, maybe the free quote from the Lanois this morning on your insurance can be a good call. 749-5640 is the number. And online at LANOIXagency.com.
LANOIXagency.com, LanoisAgency.com. Head over there for all of your insurance needs. The best part is, God, that commercial's so weird. Gord just punched out okay, go to LanoisAgency.com. They will customize a policy for your specific needs. Bundle your home, your auto. I get my flood insurance there. They actively save me money without me lifting a finger. Trust me, just call them. Just have the conversation, okay? Put it to the test. LANOIX.com, LanoisAgency.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints Lions as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Podcast Daily brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Stop in and see Will and the crew. Tigers back in Baton Rouge this weekend. So if you have a ticket to the game and you're looking for a game day attire, alternate game day logo, they got cool selections over at Carriages. Carriages Baton Rouge. BR.com is where you can find them, or stop in and see them on Old Hammond Highway and Jefferson Highway in the Jefferson Highway Shopping Center, where they've been since 1982. What should listeners expect in Hour 3, T?
Okay, so Hour 3, we're just going to talk a lot of football. Basically, recap the weekend. I've talked to Brandon Walker. He had to postpone today. He will be on tomorrow. No. Okay, I want to be painfully clear to Brandon, because I did text him something that I cannot read on air about some dark magic that I was engaging in to make sure they lost to Sam Pittman, and lo and behold, it happened. That said, he is the one, when I was texting him after the games on Saturday, he is the one who said, I mean, you need me on Monday to rub my face in it. So he has been upfront about this, but he'll be on tomorrow. And I don't know, maybe our two fan bases will make peace. As this West, there are greater enemies to be had for both teams.
Major League Baseball playoff schedule.
But we're going to talk about your football this next hour. Still Saints, more NFL, and I still got a lot of LSU thoughts to get to as well.
Couple of game ones here, Musso. In the AL side, you got Houston and Oakland squaring off at 3:00 this afternoon.
I'm in.
And you got the Yankees and Rays tonight.
When do the Cubs play?
Cubs are bounced.
Oh, God, that's right. Oh, wow.
In fact, the Miami Marlins.
Are you hating on the Cubs?
The Miami Marlins that bounced the Cubs face your Atlanta Braves.
And I'm terrified. The Marlins have never lost a play. They just don't lose playoff series.
They just get in and win the World Series.
Yeah,
that's what
every
they do.
year they make it.
I don't think that's going to happen this year, but I mean, who am I to say that it won't?
There you go.
I don't know why I go after Hunt so hard with the Cubs thing. I have no idea.
Because he loves it so much.
Because I really like Hunt. Yeah, I know, but a lot of people love things, and I don't like to tear them down as much as I do Hunt's love of the Cubs. It's inexplicable, but I'm done trying to explain it. I just accept that I just love, like I said, I watched part of that series. It's the most baseball I've watched in years, only to think about Hunt Palmer maybe being disappointed when it went south. So
man, that's harsh.
It feels very mean. It feels very mean. That's why I'm not
out of the way mean too.
Out of the way mean, which is not in my personality either.
That's not the best from a Carmanic standpoint.
And I'm asking for like second and third down average to go distances, and Hunt texted me some great links and hooked me up with the info.
And
so
still,
like, I'm sorry, Hunt, I love you, but I don't know. I can't explain it.
Get off the Cubs, bro. Get off them. That ain't right.
I mean, I don't have to be on them. How could I be on them? They're done. They're not even playing anymore.
Hour 3, stick around. T-Bob's coming back with you for OTB OT. As I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. Remember, Ed Ogeron will be here 7:30 talking about the latest win for the Tigers. Derek Stingley Sr., 8 a.m. tomorrow, and Nick Underhill breaking down the latest Saints win.
Off the Bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Secure Shredding and Recycling. Remember, the crew over at Secure Shredding and Recycling is ready to help you out here on this Monday morning for all of your shredding needs. If you need mobile shredding, if they can come to you, to your office, to your home, they offer mobile shredding. Get in touch with them online, SecureShreddingandRecycling.com, or call them 751-8535. The entire listening area, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Alexandria, Secure Shredding and Recycling can help you out. Just access them online, SecureShreddingandRecycling.com.
SecureShreddingandRecycling.com, SecureShreddingandRecycling.com, the LSU grads and local guys. Ultimately, shredding, document destruction is a services business. The key word there is serve. And when you work with Secure Shredding, it's not like working with a national company where you're just a number on a spreadsheet. There's a relationship there, and they are there to serve your business with the best rates, the best document destruction, drop-off points on site. They bring it back to the airs. SecureShreddingRecycling.com, SecureShreddingRecycling.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
In and eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And and I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual...
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, October 5th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 83. Coming up today on OTB-OT, we're recapping the Saints' win over the Lions and LSU's win over Vanderbilt. Follow along today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside the Bayou 4 chat and make sure you subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content posted daily. OTB-OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in hour number 3, OTB-OT. Pleasure to have you here. It's where me, Danny, and Musso hang out. We generally talk a lot of football this hour, and this Monday will be no different, as this is our kind of recap the weekend day. For us here in Louisiana, it was a great weekend of football, a get-right weekend for both the LSU Tigers and the New Orleans Saints, and we'll dive into all of that. It was also a weekend in which you saw the Dallas Cowboys fall to 1-3, which is always fantastic and quite enjoyable. And there's a lot else going on in the NFL as well. How about Justin Herbert? Pretty damn good, dude. I mean, I know they didn't win the game, but like he's way better than I'd ever anticipated. So we'll get to what continues to develop some of the surprising trends in the NFL, what we thought From this weekend's action, Joe Burrow notching that first ever win, getting the game ball, pulled the alpha move of saying, nah, man, that game ball doesn't go in the man cave. It goes back in the bag for next week because I really liked it. The Bengals clearly feel good about their first overall pick. So we'll probably dive into the NFL more next segment. For this segment, I'm thinking that I'm going to run through the rest of my thoughts from rewatching this LSU film. Danny and Musso, if y'all want to get your thoughts in order as well, I can ask you what stood out to you from Saturday night, and then we'll do the same thing for Sunday next segment. And as always, if you are in the 104.5 ESPN YouTube chat, we love you. Subscribe, like it, hit that bell, and share it. And give me your best takes. Like, what stood out to you most on this? What revealed itself to you, whether it's in college or the NFL, on this football weekend? And we'll kind of we'll break down the most thought-provoking ones. All right, so let's just dive right in then. Back to this LSU film. I'm going to go down my list. So how I split it up this week. And, it's kind of funny. My film watching process is always a bit of a moving target. But how I split up this week, I kind of have my general thoughts overall on the game. And then I broke it down into offense, and I kind of went by position group there, defense, and then we'll get into special teams as well. Real quick, when you're talking about LSU Vandy, clearly you were vastly physically superior to that of Vanderbilt. And so everything, preface this entire conversation is everything should be graded on a bit of that curve because your opponent was not very good. That said, I also believe that you are vastly physically superior to Mississippi State, and we saw what happened then. So at the same time, don't go too far down that curve road where you're completely discounting the improvement you saw, because there was a lot of improvement. And clearly that starts with Miles Brennan and the offense and the play calling. Specifically, I thought they did a really good job from the jump of getting Brennan comfortable, of committing to more first down runs to set up second and manageable and then third and manageable. You're looking at an average of 3rd and 6 to go. That's good. They still need to get better on third down, even through 2 games. That is something that did not improve. That must get better. But the play calling was great. Like I said, they got Miles easy, quick throws at the beginning of the game to kind of get him warmed up. Again, get the playmakers. Get the ball to them in space and just let them do their thing, whether it's Emory, TDP. You saw it time and time again. And so I really loved that. Let's just dive into our offensive thoughts. So outside of Miles, we'll get there, but the running backs were really the second big story there. And it's got to be John Emory. Now, I still think the other guys have value. TDP had a really, like I said, a couple nice runs, and Chris Curry was injured, but we know he's wearing 18 for a reason. So I don't know exactly how you split these touches up, but this is a good problem to have. I think you have 3 good backs. I think Emory's the most dynamic and easily has the highest ceiling, but I still believe in rotating all 3 of these guys, keeping them fresh late into the game, and allowing them to maximize their effectiveness at the end of the game. Because maybe one day it's not Emory's game, maybe it's TDP's, maybe it's Curry's, and the point is there, you can use the first 3 quarters as kind of fact-finding missions, first 2.5, and then for nut check time, when it matters at the end of the game, you can back up whoever the hot hand is, and you can roll with that guy, and he'll be fresh through the end of the game because of the rotation that you've employed. So we heard all offseason how the running back room was going to be the strength of this team, and John Emory and company made it feel that way a bit on Saturday. Again, I just can't get enough of Emory's pass protection. And ultimately that will, that's always the greatest hurdle for young backs to get over. And he did a fantastic job on Saturday night, both with his assignment recognition and his technique. His cut blocks were excellent. Go look at Miles. Go look at the second Terrace Marshall touchdown, which is just a really fun play to break down for multiple reasons. It's a play action, and it is Emory who lands the key block on the edge after they had Torrey Carter go one-on-one with the defensive end, which they still don't love, but you have Emory backing up, so I don't hate it. Carter gets beat. It would have been a sack. Okay, is this it, Danny? Watch the edge of the top of your screen. It would have been a sack. Oh, no, that's not it. That's the first touchdown, I believe there, Danny. But Emory cuts the end. Miles has time, and he gets it off to Marshall. What I also loved about that play, from the Brennan perspective, is that you can see him hold the safety with his eyes. which is another. We talk about a big step in a young running back's development is pass pro. A big step in a young quarterback's development is the ability to lie with his eyes. So right there, Carter gets beat. Beautiful cut block, keeps him off the edge. And there you go, is Terrace Marshall. If you get to the end zone view, Danny, you'll see Miles Brennan's eyes as he opens up the middle of the field by holding the safety off, looking one direction, and then snapping back and delivering that strike to Marshall. So, okay, and there's a snap. So it was just a beautiful play all around that I really loved. The receiving core, I thought looked excellent. I think there's great irony in the week in which we were saying, do you put Jontre Kirkland at DB? That he finally has his big breakout game offensively. 2 touchdowns for Kirkland. And all this is doing is, and how about this? Not 11 different receivers catch the ball on Saturday. Now, that's an absurd number. And it only got that high because you blew them out. But even before the backups entered, I think you were looking at 8 or 9 guys catching passes. That's really great quarterback play, and it speaks to the depth of the skill weapons that LSU has, right? I mean, it was Jure Jenkins last week, and granted, Jure had a couple nights where he had a big drop. That needs to get fixed. But Jure Jenkins, now Jontre Kirkland's emerging. I mean, we still believe that Kayshon Boutte and Coy Moore are going to be good, but they're just not there yet. Terrace Marshall's play speaks for itself. You have a lot of different options as far as weapons go on this team. So, and then I mean, Arik Gilbert, what more can you say about him? Also, I've got a couple plays we're going to highlight later in the week. I hope I can do visually. Arik Gilbert's a much better blocker and a much more willing blocker than people are giving him credit for a lot of times. So, I mean, he just seems fantastic. Lining him and Marshall up next to each other in the red zone. What the hell do you do? I don't know. You probably give up a touchdown is what you do. I can't believe it's taking me this long to get the offensive line. I thought the offensive line was fantastic. The line of scrimmage was consistently surging. The combo blocks in the run game, which set up a lot of the pass game, were fantastic. The zone blocks were great holes for Emory to take advantage of throughout the night. There's still room for improvement. Cam Wire got beat badly. One time in a run block, one time in a pass block, which that's just going to happen. I'm interested by some of the technique. I saw one of the powers at a shotgun where instead of a skip pull, Hines using a more traditional pull, needs to be a little tighter. Like there's little technique things across the board that you can fix, but it was an O-line that looked much more comfortable in its calls. The best thing is I didn't see the missed assignments that I saw last week. Liam Shanahan continues to impress me in the middle, and Ed Ingram is just playing like a monster right now. I mean, he was snatching souls on Saturday, and just if you want to see one of the flashiest, go look at the screen pass touchdown to Jontre Kirkland, where you see Ingram's speed and you see his power as he literally bench presses another human being and throws him 5 yards just with a punch. I mean, watch it right here. Look at that guy. It's awesome. So shout out Ed Ingram and the O-line. Okay, I'm going to have to rush through some of this since in classic T-Bob fashion I've gotten a bit wordy. Defensively, I thought that Bo Pelini was very judicious in his blitzing. It was not over the top. It was not super consistent. I think they recognized where their advantages were. They had a freshman QB. They thought they could get pressure with 4. They could drop in coverage and affect him. And lo and behold, this was a very good game plan, right? We criticized the bad one against Mississippi State. Give credit to the good game plan here against Vanderbilt. You made him look every bit of the freshman quarterback that he is. Ali Gay looks fantastic. He just looks more giant than anybody on the field. But how about some of the other names? Andre Anthony flashed all over that film. It's nice to see him after years of talking about that name, hearing that name. It's nice to see him to get some in-game success. Does it carry forward in the bigger games? I don't know, but it doesn't hurt, right? It's a great building block for him to finally get some of that on film and prove that he can do it on the field. I really love watching Jabril Cox play. He was fantastic all over the place. He may not be wearing number 18, but he is easily the best linebacker on the field. The side-to-side speed, playmaking ability, Cox is great. I want to see more out of Damone Clark. Now, Verge Ausberry made a very good point in hour 1 that these two offenses you face maybe weren't the best for Damone Clark shining, but I'm just still seeing a little hesitancy in his reads. I'm not seeing the playmaking ability that I would have hoped for, so we'll have to continue to watch that. The impact of Derek Stingley was felt. Completely shut down his side of the field. Him and Elias Ricks are going to be a real problem for teams. As Ricks continues to develop, like I said, their natural ball skills, it's probably the best combination in the country in that regard. Rick's now with 2 picks through 2 games. And look, we always talk about it, right? This is a constant cycle at LSU 1. Cornerback 1 is so dominant that nobody attacks him. Cornerback 2 is also very good, but they do attack him. He then amasses a ton of stats, and then the next year that guy becomes 1, a new guy moves into 2, and the cycle repeats itself. So if you're just talking from an interception statistical standpoint, Elias Ricks could set records this year. He's already 2 for 2. He's only going to get more and more opportunities to come up with those picks because people are not going to attack Derek Stingley. So Elias Ricks, your development can make this defense a top defense, potentially, at least a top pass defense in the country. One thing that might hold them back, I still want to see a bit more out of the defensive line. Now, there were some nice moments. Trez Moore had a nice pass rush for a sack. Apu Aika had a couple really nice plays. I love watching him make plays. He's just so big to be moving around like that. It's fantastic. But I still see a little youth on this defensive line. The stunts need to be tighter, and that's technique stuff that'll improve with time. And getting Glenn Logan back is going to be huge because then I feel like you're going to feel really good about your 2 deep rotation, no matter what that shakes out to be in terms of Logan, Farrell, Ika, and is Joseph Evans the 4th guy in that mix, I believe? So I'm looking forward to Glenn Logan back. And then finally, special teams. Derek Stingley Jr. shown easily the best return game he's ever had, partially because Vanderbilt had some really bad punts and coverages, but also Derek making plays at other times of the night. Cade York remains a weapon. Knocks in the 50-plus yarder like it was nothing. Still perfect on the season. Cade York's been great, and so has Von Rosenberg in the coverage teams as well. So just a really solid day. All 3 phases from LSU. And as we said, this is not to say that this will always be the case going forward, right? Like Miles will still be tested against the better teams, and it will still look bad at times, and it may cost you a game. Even at least once this season. I don't think it cost you Mississippi State. It may end up costing you a game, but what you saw Saturday is LSU proving that, okay, there is a lot of good here. There's a lot of right here, and there's a lot of improvement to be made, and we can make that improvement. And if nothing else, while we'll see what happens against the top-tier teams, that was kind of a statement game that I don't think they're going to lose any of these kind of wins that we had marked up on the schedule beforehand. This team needed this as a confidence gainer. You got one more now with Mizzou, and then the matchup with Florida. So that was kind of that's my very quick, very rapid overall breakdown of what you witnessed on Saturday. A very good game, a bounce-back performance for the defensive staff, a bounce-back performance for Miles Brennan, and a confidence gainer going in to next week. All right, more NFL talk now when we get back, so stick around, get your takes in the YouTube chat. We'll get to them here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints Lions as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up? Let's get to some of your takes. The Off the Bench Overtime channel, which you subscribe to on YouTube. Ask you in the chat what stood out to you over the weekend in college football in the NFL. Ryan Alton says Auburn was way overrated. Mississippi State maybe a one-hit wonder. Yeah, Auburn was overrated. And yeah, I mean, look, my take on the Mississippi State game, how it just drives home how bad LSU's game plan was. There were clear areas you could have stopped him. Ricky Compton said, my biggest takeaway is the LSU rookies in the league are shining in their first years. I mean, boys, does it not drive home how good that Natty team was when you got Jacob Phillips breaking up fourth down passes, Patrick Queen, another 11 tackles, Justin Jefferson's second 100-yard game in a row. You got D-Lou starting an undefeated Seahawks team. Lloyd Cushenberry holding down a starting job for the Broncos. I mean, Clyde and the Chiefs. Like, it's just, what was last year? It was just a fever dream of awesome. Dennis Gidry, Georgia fans didn't social distance and wear masks. No, Georgia was just like, screw it, dude. We don't care. Georgia's pulling the ultimate come at me, bro move right now, basically tempting the NCAA and whoever else wants to. Adam Hall, my takeaway is the Big 12 is horrible. Okay, yes, succinct. I have nothing to add. He also says Bama's already good and having 0 opt-outs, the icing on the cake. This does feel a bit like a Bama revenge tour from where we sit today, which is fine because this is an asterisk year. We already established that no national championships will count. Joseph Clement with an interesting one. LSU does not LSU does not have a clear wide receiver 2 or 3. All right, y'all open up your mics. Or you, Musa, if you want to, or you, Danny, if you want to. Who would be LSU's 2 and 3? Because Terrace Marshall's obviously one. I mean, and I don't want to put Arik Gilbert in this conversation. He is two, but I'm just talking pure wide receiver position group.
Probably John Trey Kirkland at this point, I would think.
You think? Not Jere Jenkins?
So. No, not Jere. I think Jere Jenkins has done good things. He's also had some drops, though, in both games.
Which is hurt, yes.
Which is hurt Miles, and it's hurt the offense. So I would say that John Trey Kirkland, it would probably be number 2. And I'm surprised that it's not Racey McMath. I will be honest with you.
So, interestingly, even though both Kirkland and Jere Jenkins have had more statistical success than McMath, I still feel like McMath is 3, maybe?
No,
and then one of those other
3.
2 guys gets into number 2. But then does that leave one of them out? Like, I don't know. And you know what? Maybe this entire year goes on without there ever being an established hierarchy. Last year, LSU's offense was so cookie-cutter perfect to the Fab Five that they had that was probably the exception, not the rule. I just love how spread around the ball has been. Let's see here. People talking about the game maybe moving Saturday. I don't know anything about that. Joseph Claymont, Ole Miss would be a much tougher challenge than we thought. Completely fair. Adam Hall, biggest takeaway is that so far I don't think anyone in the ACC or SEC is doing enough to leave a mark on the voters for the Big Ten starts playing. I think the ACC is Clemson, right? I mean, what else? What else there? And then somebody saying I just learned what judicious means in pre-production. Yeah, that's fair. Wow. And a lot of people upset with the production on Saturday, not from like a Cole or announcer standpoint, but it was pretty shoddy. I mean, the first down line seemed optional. They were like, some plays we have it, some plays we don't. Whatever, dude. And then I hate any game without a sky cam. Also, I did hit another $1 million idea Saturday. You know how I already have my $1 million LED screen idea about okay, I'm pivoting. The NBA will obviously never do that. My idea is to play in the same thing Mandalorian uses, a giant dome that is just one giant 4K LED screen so you can play like space games, lava games, etc. The NBA will never do that. Ice Cube, the big 3. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. What are we doing here? Fans not allowed. You got to social distance. How do you still make it interesting? Put him in that building. It's only half court, and you can play all ththese badass games. Like in any environment that you could possibly want. Rainforest, space, whatever. Also, my next idea, Matt Moscona is always talking about how he wants a sky judge, right? And I agree. I want somebody in the booth to be able to make these judgments. But what if the sky judge rode the sky cam?
I don't think that's actually possible.
Like the Booger Mobile. Hey, all it takes, if we can engineer the modern marvels that we can, go look at Saudi Arabia, right? If we could build these skyscrapers, we can math up a contraption that could have a sky judge riding the sky cam, and it would be the sickest thing you've ever seen.
What would it be called?
I don't know. I haven't thought of a name yet. That maybe the chat wants to help me out there, but that's fine. Look, it's like I always say. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them agree with your great ideas. Okay, I can only put these awesome ideas in front of you. Y'all have to decide if it's worth it or not. And if you disagree, you're just wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's humanly possible to attach a man to the camera and let it.
If it was, though, would you want to be a sky judge? Tell me when we sit in that game.
Of course, I would love to see that. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
I just don't think it's actually
put the sky judge in the booth, and then let's have a sponsorship attached to the sky cam. And if you're a fan and you win it, that's where you get to sit the whole game. That would be even better. I mean, that would be the sickest.
There are liability issues with that. I can only imagine. I'm all for it. Let's go for it.
That's fair. Go Skycam is the point there. All right, let's dive in to some Saints real quick, and then we'll continue at the next break since I got caught up in y'all's takes in the chat a little bit here. Did y'all watch the Saints game on Sunday? How you feel okay? I'll let y'all start since I've talked so much this hour. What were your kind of main takeaways?
Cleaner game overall. It didn't start that way either. I mean, I don't know if it really could have started any worse for the Saints. I mean, the Lions go right down the field. They get a couple of third down conversions, just a big bugaboo for the Saints all year. They punch it in, and then Drew Brees comes out, and the first pass is tipped up in the air and intercepted, and it's just like,
at that point,
okay, they're definitely going to score because they're taking over in the red zone.
Yeah.
And they did, but after that, it was just the New Orleans Saints of old. The Saints on that run from after going 14-0 down through the first drive of the third quarter looked like the contender they were supposed to be this year.
Yes, I agree.
I would have liked to have seen them keep it up a little bit better in the second half. They didn't score again after the first drive. The defense kind of got a little shaky. The penalties kind of started to return, although some of those penalties on Anzalone were suspect. But
Lucius Malfoy.
You just have to deal with those. But
I feel like I'm just going to see a little house elf running around behind him. I'm going to have to give him a sock or something to free him. So that's a good point about the second half. And I agree. But one thing I do love that doesn't necessarily translate to points was the 4-minute offense from the Saints, right? They get the ball back. They know they have to get first downs to win the game. And they did just that. And they won it. And they never gave the Lions a mathematical opportunity to win. So I agree. That's not a touchdown drive. But I did like the offense finishing the game in that manner. And it was Breeze making the big throw on third down, et cetera, et cetera.
They and the run game was just fantastic to see.
It really was.
Because they ran the ball very well against the Packers for the majority of that game.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of went away from it a little bit there towards the end of that game because they kind of had to.
And what it needs to do when the passing game's struggling a bit, it's the same thing you're seeing with LSU, just in kind of a different flavor. But yeah, when the passing game's struggling a bit and your weapons or a little banged up, they're not what you want. Yeah, you got to take pressure off that quarterback position.
And then the last thing that I'll say on it, the offensive line, the way they were able to reshuffle with the injuries they had throughout the game, Ramchick going down. You saw Cesar Ruiz get a start, his first start. Teron Armstead went down for a hot minute. That just compounded the injury problems you already went into the game with 6 starters, and they didn't skip a beat. They were still able to run the ball. They were still able to protect Drew Brees. That was really encouraging to see from the offensive line.
Danny, what about you? What stood out?
What I was really impressed was the step up of Trequan Smith and Emmanuel Sanders. Like, Emmanuel Sanders is finally starting to show that he's worth the contract to give him. I mean, you got to feed him more, but Trequan Smith was a big red zone threat, and I'm really encouraged to see what Michael Thomas could add to that.
Yes.
He's gonna make the whole wide receiver crew even more like dynamic.
Exactly. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, Danny. That it sucks not having Michael Thomas, obviously, but what it has done is force you down avenues that would have been left unexplored had he never been hurt, right? And so now you're forced to develop more with Emmanuel. You're forced for Trequan Smith to make plays. And so when Thomas comes back, sure, Breeze is still going to target him the most, but he knows now he has more trust with those other two than he had previously. And the Sanders one is especially interesting because to me, that's just time on task. Emmanuel Sanders so good. Breeze is so good. They probably didn't get together. I mean, I know they got together some, but, generally Breeze and these other league quarterbacks, they're with their receivers like almost all summer. Like they're going somewhere. They're constantly working on that timing. You could tell the timing hasn't been there this year, but it's getting there. And so, yeah, the Sanders-Breeze connection should only continue to pay dividends. Also, for all the talk of Breeze's arm strength, he had some nice deeper throws
There's some
on
balls
Sunday.
20 yards down the field.
Yeah, there were some 20-yard throws there, damn it.
That pass to Kamara on the 4th down was a dime.
Yeah. Hey, look, man, he can he still plays. The accuracy issues, which, again, after rewatching that Raiders game, it wasn't all pure inaccuracies. They were there, but it was guys stopping at times, their routes. It was timing stuff. It seems like, again, time on task, that offense is cleaning it up.
How about Patrick Robinson?
Yeah, man.
P-Rob had a game.
I agree.
I think he's the answer to defending the tight end, maybe. Possibly.
Okay. Yeah, man, look, potential. I mean, why? It can't be worse. I mean, right?
He was the only one who's successful so far.
Yeah, give him the opportunity. Why not? I mean, I'm shocked that you did as well as you did in the secondary, given that you had no Lattimore, no Jenkins this game. And really, to me, that is the key takeaway. For the Saints, this was an overcome adversity, no matter what that adversity is, type of game. All your best players are hurt almost, it felt like. The momentum from a season standpoint was working against you. Like, this is a game that you really needed that all of a sudden was in peril. You got the false positive with the 1 a.m. COVID test, the early wake up, 7 a.m., whenever it is. And I was the one who fell into the trap of making the jokes before the game where I'm like, COVID, we got to push back the game. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. The guys can't play. And lo and behold, the Saints said, not so fast. We don't care about any of that. We're going to find a way to get it done. And so shout out to the Saints team, leadership, front office, everybody, top to bottom in the organization for finding a way to get it done. I really liked seeing Cam Jordan get on the stat sheet.
Got a sack.
That was great. Love seeing the level celebration. It had been too long. And now you start a nice 4-week stretch for this Saints team. Or excuse me, this was the start of the 4-week stretch where you got your first week. Now you have Chargers, Panthers, Bears. Chargers is the most sketchy in there. I think you almost guarantee win the other two. But yeah, there's a good chance that you 4-0 that. Let's assume that you do. You could be 5-2 entering the final Tampa Bay game. Now, where that gets interesting is that this is a Tampa Bay team that actually looks pretty good. They're on top of the NFC South right now. They're 3-1. They also have a pretty easy schedule. They have Bears, Packers, Raiders, Giants. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, say they 3-1 that they lose to the Packers. They will be 6-2 entering that second Saints-Bucks matchup. So what you're looking at there is like a midseason battle that could kind of determine the NFC South. Because if you manage to beat Tampa, then you're looking at having the tiebreaker over them, which obviously gives you a huge advantage when you're determining who could win that South. So things are starting to heat up in that division right now. Also, the Panthers are looking better. Panthers got a little life.
Yeah, I mean,
Joe Brady and company. I don't think they're good. I think the Saints win, but
I didn't expect them to be 2-2 at this point in the season. I really didn't.
Bad fall off for the Cardinals too. Here in the last couple weeks.
They're 2-2.
After we got all in love with them and Kyler Murray's making plays, and he remains very exciting, but they really needed to win that Carolina game for me to think that they were really, going to threaten maybe in that NFC West like I thought they had the potential to. So things are heating up right now for this New Orleans Saints team, and this Chargers game is going to be a tough one because matchup-wise, they're going to be able to get after Drew Brees. You're going to have to do some creative things there. And Justin Herbert.
I was about to say, man, and number 10 looks like he can play a little bit.
Another guy who's just so much better than I thought he was going to be, even through watching Hard Knocks. And this is why we got to be careful with our assumptions about timid, soft, this, that, whatever. That's how I felt coming out of Hard Knocks, just listening to him talk or whatever, like just reading social cues or whatever. And when he plays, he looks anything but timid or soft. So I love the fact that the Chargers game on a Monday. Give you an extra day to try to get healthy here, to try to recover. I think it is needed for this Saints team. And who knows? I think we probably see Mike Thomas. I think, do we see Marcus Davenport?
I hope so, but I don't know, man.
I mean, is it possible? Can we?
I'm sure it's possible, but
give me more Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson.
3 sacks in 4 games.
Like a Pro Bowl season this year so far.
Did he have another sack?
3 sacks in 4 games. He's got a sack yesterday.
Double-digit sack dream is so alive for Trey Hendrickson. And what is great about that, though, is if you get Davenport back, then you can get really creative. Like Davenport's big enough, you can rush him on the inside. If you love Cam Jordan on a guard matchup, you could rush him on the inside and put Hendrickson, Davenport on the outside. David Onyemata's been a great pass rusher this season. Dude. So, Davenport could push you over the top if he plays, which is a massive if at this point. So, a solid bounce back for your New Orleans Saints. We'll get to your takes next, as well as talk more NFL here on OTB OT.
OTB OT.
It is Monday, and look, what you're probably thinking, man, Monday, I got a whole week till game day. Well, how about this for a little light at the end of the tunnel? Hooters, your headquarters for game day. Now, you'll probably catch Danny in there all the time, checking out the ladies, drinking beer, doing what Danny does. And that's why Hooters is your headquarters for football. They got the Hooters girls, the wings, the beer, the televisions. They got everything you could want. But if you can't get into Hooters, doesn't mean you can't have Hooters get in to you. That's right. You download the Hooters app right now. You'll get a free appetizer, and it's super easy to order food to go. It doesn't have to be game day, but it's just so perfect. You're having people over. You're just watching the game at home. You want those delicious Hooters wings tossed in the classic sauce? Well, just download the app or go to Hooters.com, get wings to fly, and let them. You don't have to worry about cooking. Everybody at your party's happy because they're eating delicious Hooters wings. Again, Hooters is your headquarters for football. Hooters.com.
Football's back. Tune in tonight as we wrap up a full weekend of NFL coverage. It's Monday Night Football as Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers host Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints Lions as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We're trying to figure. Welcome back to OTBOT. We are trying to figure out who this guy is. If you're watching the 104.5,
it's Christian McCaffrey.
ESPN stream. It's the Carolina Panthers header, as they have changed their Twitter bio to tough ass football team. We'll see. Carolina, like, chill out. A couple wins, but chill out.
Keep that energy though.
Yeah, that's fine, right? But as their header, they've read. Musso thought that this guy was Christian McCaffrey.
It's not a think. I mean, that is.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not him at all.
No, he let his beard grow out.
McCaffrey is like a chiseled chin. He's got the high top fade.
Yeah,
like
fine.
It's not even. It's
a
not
beard
even close.
changes your appearance a lot, T-Bob.
I'm kind of with Danny. This generic bearded white guy feels like he just played at Clemson at some point. Like he was one of those Clemson linebackers that doesn't go on to be any good in the NFL, but was like a beast in college.
It's Joey Sly, their kicker. Our punter. Either the punter or kicker.
No.
Joey Sly.
No.
But why though?
There's no way.
I swear.
There's no way you change your Twitter bio to tough ass football team and then put one of your kickers as the header.
Hey, if you're the University of Miami, you could do that. Have you seen their special teams? Their punter is from Australia. He's massive and has his whole body covered in tattoos. Then their kicker wears the eye black.
Yeah.
He's jacked. They could do it.
Okay.
This guy's pretty big, too.
This guy is pretty big. He's got some hairy arms.
Why is he that big?
I have no idea.
Punter. Well, look at this man.
I did not.
Holy hell.
Okay, I kind of get it now. Never mind, dude. That looks like a tough-ass punter. I mean, bro, you're a punter. You can't skip leg day.
McAfee probably loves this guy.
He's literally skipping leg day, and he's a kicker. That's unbelievable. Oh, man. There's so many takes in the huddle. I don't know if I can keep up with them all. Joseph Clemma is talking about a 104.5 ESPN D&D campaign. Okay, so a little secret here. For over a year now, we have actually been filming with me and some of the other people in this building. We've been filming a D&D campaign that we are going to release at some point, and it is really fantastic. So be on the lookout for that. Somebody's asking me my early thoughts on Miami Clemson coming up. Is that this weekend?
That is Saturday night. College game day will be in Clemson, South Carolina.
So here on Monday, I hope to have a better read on this by the weekend. Here on Monday, my early thoughts would be I don't watch Clemson games, unfortunately, because I just assume they're going to beat the hell out of whoever they're playing. I went through this for Alabama for years. I now will watch Alabama only because I'm locked in this building and I am forced to. But those games are so painfully uninteresting. Saturday was no different, and that's how I feel about Clemson games. Now, I've enjoyed watching Miami, and they're a lot of fun, and the offense looks awesome with De'Aaron King and everybody else. But here at the onset, I just imagine that Clemson rolls because it's chalk and it's easy. Do we have anything?
No,
does anybody feel differently?
I'm with you. I think Miami's good, but they're not on Clemson's level, and Clemson will. It might be close in the first half. Clemson will pull away and win this game by at least probably 17 points.
So what is kind of interesting is I completely forgot what I was about to say.
Oh.
It had something to do with Miami. I felt like it was a good
Manny
angle.
Diaz.
I was super excited to put it out there.
The turnover chain. Coral Gables.
No, I like where you're going. Okay, here it is. Okay.
You're welcome.
Because of the odd ACC setup this year, every matchup with Clemson against a good team is the potential first duel of two, right? Because how the conference championship works, they've done away with divisions. It will be first winning percentage and second winning percentage square up in the championship. So if you are Miami, it's almost like you don't really have to win this game. You have to win every other one.
And then the next one again.
Yes, this could be like a fact-finding mission where you kind of set we got our ass kicked, but we saw what went wrong here, et cetera, et cetera. And then maybe by next time around, you're more better suited to take them on. And it's not just Miami. That applies to Notre Dame. Do Notre Dame and Clemson have a regular season match? They do.
Yeah, they do.
Even pre-ACC schedule, that was scheduled. That's right. So that applies to Notre Dame as well. And that's just an interesting little quirk to watch as the ACC continues to develop.
And Miami's schedule is not just a walk in the park. I mean, they have to face North Carolina. They get that at home. North Carolina, by the way, up to number 8 in the country, which is
good
absurd.
for them.
And then they have to go on the road.
They
have to go on the road to Virginia Tech and Lane Stadium.
Okay.
Virginia Tech 19th in the country. Miami up to 7, by the way.
Yeah, look, man. I mean, they're winning. I'm down for awarding teams that are winning. I don't mind a lot of movement in my polls. I'm down to award you until you lose, especially when a lot of these other teams are not playing. I hate that we still have all these I would actually be more of the opinion that I would like the Big Ten teams to maybe come in after they start playing. But whatever. I mean, that's just chaos for chaos' sake, I suppose. But the ACC's better overall this year. Nobody can challenge Clemson, but they are better. Hell, they're better than better than the Big 12.
The Big Pac-12 hasn't played a football game, and they're better than the Big 12.
I mean, the Big 12 is moving into Pac-12 irrelevancy. How can you trust them in a playoff setting? Their God champion Oklahoma's terrible.
Who do you put in? Who's going to win? Who's going to win that conference? I mean, right now, you got to think Oklahoma State, right?
Who is worse right now through all these weeks of football? The Big 12 or the NFC East? Because have you seen the NFC East through a quarter of the season?
The standings were making the rounds on Twitter yesterday, and it was
what the hell
is
going on?
The NFC East, it's back.
I mean, nobody wants to win the division. Every other division has some 3-0 teams.
The Eagles are leading it now.
2-1.
At 1-2-1.
Yes, at 1-2-1. The Philly Eagles sit atop. Then you have the Washington football team in second at 1-3. The Cowboys come up next at 1-3, and then the Giants at 0-4. Granted, The Cowboys should be 0-4, but that actually worked out perfectly for wait, what? Hold on. The Falcons beat the Cowboys, right?
No, the Falcons blew the lead.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. That's what I was saying. The fact that the Cowboys aren't 0-4 is actually better for Saints fans, because what it meant was that, that they drove the Falcons to being winless, and they're still terrible themselves. Like, they're still 1-3. It has had no real great effect on the season. So if you're a Saints fan, you gotta love how that's playing out for a couple of teams that you love to hate.
And I'm going to go ahead and say the NFC East is not worse than the
Big 12? So I remain unconvinced.
Because they're professionals, and this is ridiculous.
Look at that.
What are we doing? There's a combined 3 wins.
I look at the now that's just that Danny put this up. Look at the combined point differential for this team right now. So we got the Eagles at essentially over negative 32 points. Washington negative 43. The Cowboys are negative 20, and the G-Men are a solid negative 49. So this division isn't just getting beat; they're getting trounced all over the place. I mean, what the hell, Cowboys? Dak threw for 500 yards and meant nothing.
That's because he
on
had
Sunday.
to.
They weren't even close.
They were down, 38-14? He had to throw for 500 yards to even make the game close.
And don't look now. The Browns.
Are they good?
3-1? I don't know if they're good.
Are
the
they
Browns.
good?
So
We
the
gotta
Browns
go.
are
We're
suffering.
really late.
I know. It's my bad. The Browns are suffering. Well, I mean, also, it's going into the end of the show. It's like the last great segment for the people to love. So I'm okay with the shorter segment at the end. Also, we lead in Lev's, not a local guy. So I guess I'm just explaining my thoughts on there. The opposite, the inverse of the NFC East, unfortunately for Cleveland, would be the AFC North, right? I mean, you have the Steelers at 3-0, the Ravens at 3-1, the Browns now at 3-1. I still feel like Steelers, Ravens are, two of the teams that will be in the conversation to challenge the Chiefs in the playoffs. So,
but can the Browns sneak into that last wild card spot?
Yeah, maybe. Look,
that's what I mean. They're not going to win that division, but can they sneak into that last wild card?
I feel like it's going to be between them, the Colts, and the Patriots.
Okay.
Because we know that the Bills taking home. We all know who the Bills are taking home, that AFC East, baby. Bills Mafia, Josh Allen. I still don't know how's he good. Yeah. How's he good? He was so bad at every level of football until the NFL. I don't understand how that works. He's so big and badass. Bills Mafia, 4-0, baby. All right, let's close out the show next here on OTB.
OTB, OT. Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but two NMEA certified techs. Who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays? You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motors you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping LSU Vandy. We'll hear from Ed Ogeron, and certainly we'll talk Saints Lions as well. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Cool words. Welcome back. OTB OT. A lot of you asked about the D&D group. It is me, my guy Chucky Delicious, Jada Cody, Lindsay Dugas, who's an excellent author, works at Gatorworks, and then the DM, Trent Hill, who is such a good DM that he has a waiting list to play with him. So look forward to that. All right, Musso, you triggered me with some Matt Patricia talk. What did Matt Patricia say after the Lions blew another game on Sunday?
They asked Matt Patricia if he still thought he was the guy who could fix things in Detroit, who was the guy for the job, and his response was that he did think so because when he got to Detroit, there was a lot of things they had to fix, and they're still in the process of doing that.
My God.
And it's just blatantly false.
The gall of Matt Patricia. When you got there was a lot to fix. We looked it up. Caldwell went 11-5, 7-9, and then back-to-back 9-7 seasons. They fired Caldwell because 9-7 wasn't good enough. Patricia, you've won 9 games in total. In what, 3 years now? 2 years? I mean, you've blown multiple double-digit leads this season. One of your best players, Darius Slay, left in the offseason, spent the entire offseason clowning you about being a Belichick wannabe. You're terrible, Matt Patricia. Get the hell out of here. I love you all, though. Great job, Danny. Great job, Musso. Great job, our wonderful listeners. We'll see you tomorrow here on OTB.
OTB OT.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the